Chapter 4590. Everyone from the Green Clan was stunned. Even those from the Mountain Sea Palace were shocked. Xiao Xiu opened her eyes and looked at the scene in front of her. She was stunned. What's going on? The destruction serpent still had the strength to fight back. She turned around and looked at Lin Xian in shock. It was Lin Xian's attack. At this moment, Lin Xian's body had an extremely terrifying soul aura that made her feel terrified. The entire place was silent for a long time before it was filled with exclamations. "Oh my God, what did I just see? He survived. This is unbelievable. This Xiao Xiu is too powerful." Some of the elders said. "No, it's not Xiao Xiu. It's the young man beside her." Exclamations of shock were heard as countless gazes landed on Lin Xian. Qing Chen's face turned ugly. "Damn it. It's all because of this brat. He always sabotaged me at the most crucial moment. Now, he could still fight back?" The eldest uncle of the Xiao clan was dumbfounded. The clan leader of the Xiao clan stood up and gritted his teeth. "This is the power of the hallucination song. How did you know how to use the hallucination song?" He roared crazily. The surrounding people were even more shocked. They recalled the power of the hallucination song and realized that it was true. This guy shouldn't be from the Xiao clan. He should be Xiao Xiu's helper. How did an outsider know the hallucination song? An outsider who knew the hallucination song? Everyone immediately thought of Xiao Xiu. She was the only one who could do it. The eldest uncle of the Xiao clan jumped up and shouted coldly, "Xiao Xiu, how dare you teach an outsider the secret art of the Xiao clan? Do you know your crime?" His shout shook the heavens and the earth. The people from the surrounding clans and sects were also discussing animatedly. However, the seventh elder only sneered. "Why did you jump out to stop it?" The clan leader taught the hallucination song to someone from the Green Clan. Wasn't that breaking the rules? The seventh elder thought that his daughter, Xiao Xiu, was the one who taught the hallucination song to Lin Xian. The eldest uncle of the Xiao clan snorted. "Seventh elder, you have to be clear. The Xiao clan and the Green clan have a marriage alliance. After the marriage, the two clans are considered as one. How could young Master Qing Chun be considered an outsider? This Lin Xian was just an assistant. What qualifications did he have to obtain the illusory melody? I suggest that we suppress him and erase his memory. It would be better to just kill him." The great elder and the second elder also shouted coldly. The clan leader of the Xiao clan stood up. His voice was piercingly cold. "Drizzle, I didn't expect that you would dare to impart the ultimate art of your clan to others. Do you know your crime?" Xiao Xiu was also shocked. She did not understand why Lin Xian knew the illusory melody. Even now, he still felt that this was a mystery. If the other party was so strong, why would he come to the Xiao clan? Why would he help her? Both parties did not know each other before this. She was finding it harder and harder to understand Lin Xian. Lin Xian turned around and looked at the clan leader of the Xiao clan. He sneered. "Why? Do you have the cheek to talk to me? You said that Qing Chen is one of us. Then let me ask you, is he married to Xiao Yu now?" "Not yet, right? Since he hasn't, then he must be an outsider. Besides, who could be sure that they would get married in the future? As a clan leader, what right do you have to criticize Xiao Yu for imparting the skill to an outsider? I think you should get lost as soon as possible because you don't have the cheek to stay here." The clan leader of the Xiao clan was trembling with anger. "Damn it, how dare a junior criticize me like this? Kid, no matter what you say, you have obtained the illusory melody of the Xiao clan. I won't let you live today." Lin Xian laughed. "Is that so? If I can't live after obtaining the illusory melody of the Xiao clan, then what about me?" Lin Xian pointed at Qing Chun and said coldly, he had also obtained the illusory melody. "Moreover, I can guarantee that Xiao Xiu will enter the top 5 and even get the first place. At that time, with the backing of the Mountain Sea Palace, Xiao Xiu can object to this marriage. What can the Shao clan do? As soon as he said this, everyone was shocked. The clan leader of the Shao clan narrowed his eyes. He was most afraid of this outcome. Therefore, he would not allow the two of them to continue competing. Seeing this, Lin Xian sneered. Can't resist, right? In that case, Qing Chen would be considered an outsider. But he has obtained the illusory melody. Are you going to kill him too? Not good. The people of the Green Clan stood up abruptly with shock in their eyes. If that was the case, the Shao clan would definitely fight with their lives on the line. After all, this is a secret of the clan. What a load of nonsense. The clan leader of the Shao clan was Lung. I know Shao Shiyu's strength. She isn't qualified to be valued by the Mountain Sea Palace yet. Therefore, this marriage has to go on. Your assumptions aren't valid. Lin Xian sneered. Shao Shiyu is the #1 genius of the Shao clan. As the clan leader, not only did you not encourage her, you even suppressed her. What kind of clan leader are you? You don't deserve to be the clan leader. Presumptuous, the clan leader roared. No matter what you say, I'm still the clan leader now. I can mobilize all my forces. Do you want to start a war with the Shao clan? Everyone was stunned. They had not expected such a situation to occur at this point in the competition. This young man is really unlucky. First, he offended young Master Qing Chen. Then, he offended the clan leader of the Shao clan. These two people represent two big clans. He has offended two top clans. Let's see how he's going to die. Countless people were discussing. Lin Xian placed his hands behind his back and sneered. He was not afraid at all. At this moment, a cold voice rang out between heaven and earth. I'm the one who taught him the Phantom Melody. Do you have a problem with that? Who are you? The clan leader of the Shao clan roared. Who are you? Why do you know the Phantom Melody of the Shao clan? Could it be that the Phantom Melody has been spread out before this? The people of the Shao clan were also surprised. They sent out their powerful souls to investigate. At this moment, a figure walked over from the horizon. This person was wearing an ancient robe and had gray hair. At first, he walked slowly. However, after a few steps, he arrived near the square. He stood in the air and looked down coldly. Who are you? The eyes of the clan leader of the Shao clan were shining. The other elders of the Shao clan were also on guard. They had to take down the other party today. They must not let the Phantom Melody spread out again. The seventh elder's pupils shrank. He stood up abruptly with his eyes wide open. She felt an aura, but she couldn't be sure. Impossible! That person has disappeared for thousands of years. How could he appear again? The figure in the sky shouted coldly. Shao Li, you have really disappointed me. I didn't expect you to do such a thing. Have you forgotten the rules of the Shao clan? You are indeed unfit to be the clan leader of the Shao clan. The eyes of the clan leader of the Shao clan shrank. Who are you? How dare you call me by my name? Who is this person? The figure in the sky stood with his hands behind his back and said loudly, I'm Shao Mu. The surrounding people were stunned. They were puzzled. Is this person also from the Shao clan? However, the eyes of the clan leader of the Shao clan shrank. He jumped up and cold sweat flowed down his back. The seventh elder exclaimed, Father, is it really you? Chapter 4591. What was going on? Everyone was stunned. The seventh elder's father. What kind of person was he? Countless people were shocked. What was going on? However, the elders of the beast tamer clans were all shocked. Could it be him? He was still alive. How was that possible? The Mountain Sea Palace was in an uproar. Those from the Green Clan could not believe it. They had not heard of this name for many years. It had even become history. They did not expect him to appear again today. It was shocking. The Shao clan's leader roared, Impossible! Shao Mu had been dead for 5,000 years. How could he still be alive? Who are you? How dare you pretend to be someone from the Shao clan? Do you think the Shao clan is easy to deceive? Men, Take him down." At the clan leader's command, the first elder, second elder, and other strong people from the Shao clan stood up one after another. Their soul power surged. The roars of monsters could be heard. As a beast tamer clan, once they attacked, it would be an earth-shattering scene. "Damn it! How dare you!" The seventh elder also shouted angrily. This was her father. Xiao Mu stood in the sky and looked down. "It has been 5,000 years. Looks like no one remembers me. Has the Shao clan fallen to such a state?" At this point, his eyes shone brightly. Then, a terrifying heavenly sound erupted from his body and swept across the sky. The surrounding elders from the Shao clan kept retreating. Their faces were pale. Their souls felt like they were being torn apart. The same went for the monsters. They roared and retreated in fear. Each of them blocked a Shao clan member. The Shao clan's leader exclaimed, "Illusory sound ninth heaven. You have cultivated the illusory sound melody to such a level." The other elders were shocked, too. The illusory sound melody was divided into many levels. The illusory sound ninth heaven was the level they dreamed of reaching. However, no one had achieved it. Even the Shao clan's leader had not achieved it. But now Xiao Mu had achieved it. It was unbelievable. Could this person really be Xiao Mu, the genius from the Shao clan 5,000 years ago? The third elder also stood up. His face was filled with excitement. The seventh elder exclaimed, "Father, you are still alive. This is great. My daughter, I've made you suffer. I'm sorry that I came late." Xiao Mu's face was filled with kindness. Then he raised his head and looked at Xiao Li. His eyes became piercingly cold. "Lin Gongzi's illusory sound was personally taught to him by me. Do you have any objections?" The surrounding crowd was stunned. Even the clan leader of the Shao clan was speechless. The others were also shocked when they heard the news about their elders. They stared at the figure in disbelief. He was actually someone from 5,000 years ago. Furthermore, he was the strongest genius of the Shao clan 5,000 years ago. The other party had been missing for 5,000 years, and now he had actually managed to return alive. It was simply too unbelievable. The faces of the Green Clan's people turned ugly. This was very bad news for them. The people of Mountain Sea Palace were also surprised. Elder Ruo Chen narrowed his eyes. So it was him. He then looked at Lin Xian and smiled. This little guy was actually related to him. No wonder. Lin Xian stood there with a smile on his face. He did not expect Xiao Mu to come out in the end. Xiao Xiu, who was at the side, was stunned. Was this person her grandfather, who had been missing for a long time? He was actually still alive, and he was even related to Lin Xian. She looked at Lin Xian and asked, "Could it be that you were sent by my grandfather?" Lin Xian smiled. "That's right. It was indeed your grandfather who asked me to help you." Xiao Xiu finally understood why Lin Xian, who was so talented and powerful, would still help her. It was because of her grandfather. Xiao Li took a deep breath and a sharp light flashed in his eyes. He shouted coldly, "Xiao Mu, I did not expect you to still be alive. However, how dare you teach the illusory sound to an outsider without permission?" Xiao Mu, an outsider? Lin Gongzi is not an outsider. I plan to betroth my granddaughter to him. By then, he will be one of us. How can he be an outsider? What? Xiao Li's words made the Shao clan's leader's face turn ugly. Xiao Xiu was already engaged to someone from the Green Clan. How could she be betrothed to someone else? Xiao Mu sneered. My granddaughter. Can't she make the decision? Moreover, you only had an agreement. You taught the illusory sound to Qing Chun before he became one of us. How can you give the Shao clan an explanation? Xiao Li's face turned ugly. It was impossible to use the clan's rules to suppress the other party. Hence, he could only snort coldly. All right, let's see who will become one of us in the end. He stood up and said loudly, "Everyone, please be a witness. Out of these two young men, only one can become the son-in-law of the Shao clan. The other one will be killed mercilessly after knowing the secret of the illusory sound." Everyone was in an uproar. The people from the Green clan frowned. This was not good for them. The leader of the Green clan snorted coldly. "This old fox wants us to join forces with him. All right, let's join forces." The leader of the Green clan was shocked by the sudden appearance of Xiao Mu. No one knew how much the genius from 5,000 years ago had grown. Moreover, Xiao Mu had a strong appeal. What would happen to the Shao clan in the future? They did not know. They could only join forces with the leader of the Shao clan. Hence, he quickly sent a message to Qing Chen. On the other side, the leader of the Shao clan said, "Xiao Mu, you don't have any objections, right?" Xiao Mu looked at him and said coldly, "If I remember correctly, you are my junior. Logically speaking, you should call me sixth uncle. Why, are you so unruly after becoming the leader of the Shao clan?" Xiao Li gritted his teeth. However, he could not refute in front of so many people. Hence, he gritted his teeth and said, "Sixth uncle, what do you think?" Xiao Mu did not say anything. Instead, he looked at Lin Xian. Lin Xian nodded his head and smiled. "Then, let's do it this way." After he finished speaking, he stood in the void and looked down. Everyone looked down at the ground. The atmosphere in the square changed in an instant. Previously, it was a competition for rankings. Now it was a competition for life and death. Qing Chen also received his father's message. A cold, murderous intent appeared in his eyes. He had to kill this kid now. Who do you think will win? Countless people were discussing. It should be young Master Qing Chen. He is a top genius. I don't think so. Since Lin Xian dares to fight, it means that he has full confidence. Maybe he has some trump cards. The people from the Mountain Sea Palace were also surprised. Elder Xian Gui's face turned cold. Elder Yen Luo smiled and said, "I said it before. No one can say for sure until the last moment." Elder Xian Gui, didn't you say that you would win? Why don't you make a promise with me? With your most precious spiritual beast? Chapter 4592. The other party had recently suppressed a snow fox, which was a spiritual beast of heaven and earth. Elder Xuangui's face turned ugly. To be honest, he wasn't very confident in his heart, but he couldn't afford to lose. Since he had already accepted Qing Chen as his disciple, how could he not trust him? He said, "Okay, if my disciple loses, I'll give you the snow fox that I suppressed." "But what if you lose?" Elder Yen Luo said, "If I lose, I'll give you my ultimate technique, the inescapable net." The people around were also surprised. They looked at the two elders seriously. They were very expectant and looked down. Qing Chen walked up from below. "Kid, I originally wanted to save some strength to compete for the first place, but since you're courting death, I'll fulfill your wish in advance." After saying that, his eyes shone with an even more terrifying light. The combat power of the giant demonic statue beside him increased by a large margin, and its aura made everyone feel desperate. Countless people exclaimed. No way. Young Master Qing Chen was still holding back. It's over. There's no suspense in this battle. The patriarch of the Green clan raised a smile. How could their number one genius be defeated? Just wait and see. These people will be desperate. On the side of the Mountain Sea Palace, Elder Xiangge also smiled. "It seems that your inescapable net is mine." Lin Xian shook his head. "You're too arrogant. Do you think you're the only one with a trump card? It's useless to say more. Make your move." Lin Xian looked calm. His opponent was indeed a top genius. But so what? How many geniuses had died in his hands? "Stupid guy. Go to hell." Young Master Qing Chen shouted coldly and activated his eye technique. The giant demonic statue charged over like a mountain. The terrifying power shrouded the entire square. Oh no! Be careful! Xiao Shiyu exclaimed. Lin Xian waved his hand. He controlled the dragon of destruction to charge forward. To be honest, there was indeed a gap between the dragon of destruction and the giant demonic statue. If it was Xiao Shiyu or others, they would definitely lose this battle. But it was not necessarily the case for him. He had too many trump cards in his hand. He didn't need to do it himself. He could just control the dragon. Under Lin Xian's control, the Destruction Flood Dragon seemed to have transformed into a true dragon, attacking nonstop. Every timing and angle of attack was amazing and hard to imagine. The destructive power on it was unleashed to the extreme, gradually suppressing the giant demon statue. Finally, with another slash, the giant demonic elephant was split in half. Qing Chen spat out a mouthful of blood as he was sent flying backwards. He found it hard to believe that the giant devil had wanted to injure him again. He fell to the ground and roared at the sky. Damn it, impossible, I don't believe it. Everyone was in an uproar. The Green Clan's people were extremely nervous. Did their number one genius lose? Damn it, why did it turn out like this? The leader of the Green Clan looked gloomy. Impossible. He couldn't believe it. On the other side, the clan leader of the Shao clan narrowed his eyes. How could this guy's soul power be so strong? His opponent wasn't using the illusory melody at all. He had miscalculated. He had always thought that the reason why Lin Xian could control demonic beasts was because of the illusory melody. But now he realized that he was wrong. Lin Xian knew other soul attacks, and they seemed to be more powerful than the illusory melody. Who exactly was this person? He broke out in cold sweat. Could it be that he was going to attack the Green Clan? The clan leader of the Green Clan suddenly stood up and said coldly, "This fight didn't count." Everyone was in an uproar. The elders of the Shao clan sneered. Why didn't it count? Did you think that everyone was blind? The leader of the Green tribe gritted his teeth and said, previously, he and Xiao Shiyu had suppressed the Destruction Serpent Dragon together. How could the power of the two of them be attributed to him alone? Moreover, Chen fought with Xiao Shiyu previously. He was also injured. That was why he lost. Although he won this battle, he didn't use his own strength to win. So, I'm not convinced. Yes, that's right. What the clan leader said made sense. The people of the Shao clan were also indifferent. I agree. The people of the 1,000 Transformation sect stood up and said coldly, if you want to determine the winner, then use your own strength. For example, 2 people should fight alone. Everyone was in an uproar. Although they felt that the Green Clan was despicable, no one dared to say anything. At this moment, the clan leader of the Shao clan said, "That's right, I agree too." The 7th elder snorted. They had never seen such shameless people. Xiao Mu's face fell. Why? Do you want to cover the sky with your hands? A terrifying aura was emitted from his body. The clan leader of the Shao clan was pale. The people of the Green Clan snorted. Xiao Mu, although you're a genius from 5,000 years ago, the world has changed. This is not the era of the past. Oh, are you trying to challenge me? Xiao Mu's eyes shone brightly, piercing through the sky. The clan leader of the Green Clan took 2 steps back. He felt a huge pressure. In the next moment, he snorted, "If you want to fight, I'll accompany you to the end." Behind him, the experts of the Green Clan stood up. A great battle was about to break out. At this moment, Lin Xian smiled. "Senior, if they want to fight again, I'll grant them their wish." Everyone turned to look. Xiao Mu frowned. "Lin Gongzi, the outcome of this battle has been decided. There's no need for that." Lin Xian had said that they were defenseless and that they would lose wholeheartedly. "Didn't you say that I borrowed the power of the Destruction Flood Dragon? Next, I'll fight him alone. I won't use any beast's power. He can use it as he pleases. Moreover, I'll give him time to recover to his peak state. Then we'll fight again." Everyone was stunned. Is this kid crazy? This is obviously disadvantageous for him. The clan leader of the Green Clan sneered. Kid, what are you trying to do? He didn't believe that Xiao Mu would be so kind. Lin Xian said, I can agree to all your conditions. However, I have one condition. That is, the next battle will be a battle of life and death. Do you dare? A battle of life and death? This kid wants to have a battle of life and death with Qingchen. Everyone was shocked. The elders of the Green Clan were also in an uproar. Where did this guy get his confidence from? The clan leader of the Green Clan said, Chen is a beast tamer. He won't fight you alone. If he wants to fight you, he'll use his beast. Can you accept this? Lin Xian said, It's okay. As long as he can control the beast, it's his power. Okay, I'll fight you, the clan leader of the Green Clan shouted. He really had no reason to reject. Although Xiao Mu's body was tough, his son Qingchen could control many beasts. This way, he would definitely have the upper hand. On the Xiao clan side, the seventh elder said, No, you'll be in danger. Lin Xian smiled. Senior, don't worry. I'm confident. Now I'll give him time to recover. Kid, just you wait. I'll kill you with my own hands. Xiao Chun gritted his teeth. He pushed Xiao Mu aside and started to recover. Chapter 4593. Lin Xian looked at Xiao Xiu and said, Come on, let's continue with the competition. I'll help you reach the top. Xiao Xiu was stunned. Lin Gongzi, aren't you going to recover? In her opinion, Lin Xian had also used up a lot of energy. He should also need to recover. Otherwise, he would be at a disadvantage. Lin Xian said, No need. I don't care about this competition. Let's continue with the other beast tamers. The people around were stunned. What was this guy doing? Did he really have a super strong trump card? Or was he an idiot? Father, the seventh elder, looked at Xiao Mu. Xiao Mu smiled. Daughter, don't worry. Lin Gongzi's strength is not something you can imagine. He was looking forward to the next competition. Lin Xian and Xiao Xiu controlled the destruction Jiao dragon to look forward. The beast tamers and beast tamers around all stepped back. There were only 3 figures standing there. Lin Xian defeated Qingchen, and the others were no match for him. Only the other 3 geniuses who were as famous as Qingchen could fight him. Come on, Lin Xian looked at Mu Linfeng. Mu Linfeng walked out. In front of him, the King Kong ape was also roaring at the sky. Its terrifying energy covered the sky and the earth. Behind it, the destruction Jiao dragon flew out, and the 2 fought. It was as if 2 ancient divine beasts were fighting. Terrifying rules filled the air. This was a shocking battle. In the end, the destruction Jiao dragon won. The King Kong ape's body was penetrated, and it fell to the ground. Mu Linfeng's soul was injured. His face was pale. He gritted his teeth and said, You won this battle. The crowd was in an uproar again. He was too strong. After Qingchen, Mu Linfeng of the 4 great geniuses was also defeated. There were only 2 left, Gu Yu and Han Xiu. Could these 2 fend them off? If he couldn't stop them, would he have to let Lin Xian and Xiao Xiu reach the peak? Thanks for letting me win, Lin Xian said calmly. Then he continued to look around and stared at Han Xiu. Xiao Xiu was agitated. She was a genius, but she couldn't imagine such a scene because there was still a huge gap between her and Qingchen. It would take a long time to catch up with these people. But now, with Lin Xian's help, these people were defeated by her. At the front, Han Xiu smiled and said, Lin Gongzi's strength is really shocking. I admit defeat. Everyone was stunned. They did not expect Han Xiu to directly admit defeat. But thinking about it, although Han Xiu's strength was strong, he was not stronger than Mu Linfeng and Qingchen. These 2 people had been defeated. The possibility of Han Xiu's defeat was very high. Moreover, one soul would be injured. which would be very detrimental to one's future ranking. She was a very smart woman. Lin Xian smiled and looked at the last person. It was Guyu. This person was much stronger than the others. He was a three-soul beast tamer. He was also the most powerful enemy. Guyu felt Lin Xian's gaze and turned his head as well. A terrifying soul aura burst out from his eyes. Their souls clashed in the air, tearing the 9 heavens apart. "Come on, let me see how powerful you are," Xiao Xiu said. "Do you want to fight with Lin Gongzi, one-on-one? Then I can leave." Guyu shook his head. "No, you two can fight together. Because I have 2 souls." A terrifying aura burst out from his soul again, sweeping across everything. Xiao Shi was stunned. No wonder this person did not need help. He had 2 souls. In this way, she did not retreat. "All right, let's fight together." Everyone had an assistant. In the previous battles, they had fought together with their assistants. So, now that Guyu had shown his 2 souls, Xiao Shi naturally could not leave. The battle of the pinnacle began. Everyone was nervous. The outcome of this battle would determine who would be the champion of the Mountain Sea Beast fighters. The people from the Xiao clan were also shocked. They did not expect Xiao Xiu to make it this far. Even if she lost, she would be in second place, which was enough to be proud of. Gu Yu was controlling a strange tiger. The flames on its body were terrifying. There was an earth-shattering roar. The terrifying flames rushed over and attacked the Destruction Jiao Dragon. The Destruction Jiao Dragon flew and dodged quickly. At the same time, it unleashed a destructive aura. The terrifying law of destruction kept shaking. Boom. After one attack, the 2 turned into lightning and clashed in the air. It was truly a fierce battle between dragons and tigers. The people around were shouting excitedly. The elders of the Mountain Sea Palace also nodded. Too powerful. Gu Yu's 2 souls were indeed terrifying. His control was too strong. This guy might become a 6-soul beast tamer in the future. Lin Xian was stronger. He was bearing most of the pressure. Discussions broke out one after another. In front, the strange tiger roared. Its voice shook the 9 heavens. There was a cold, murderous intent in its eyes. It kept running in the air, forming a strange law. A pair of flame wings spread out on its back. Its speed was extremely fast. The entire world began to tremble. The Destruction Jiao Dragon was surrounded by a sea of fire. The scales on its body kept making clanging sounds. The flames were burning its power. The Destruction Jiao Dragon roared. There was a terrifying light of destruction in its eyes. A destruction blade swept across the sky. Buzz. The blade slashed out. Everyone exclaimed. This blade had once split the giant demon statue in half. It was the Destruction Jiao Dragon's bloodline magic. What was surprising was that the strange tiger was extraordinary. It flapped its wings and dodged the blade. It was too powerful. It was a battle of the peak. Everyone was excited. Such a battle was rare among the younger generation. Mu Lingfeng looked at the scene and smiled bitterly. He deserved to lose. Han Xiu also said that Lin Xian was right. Only Guyu could compete with Lin Xian. However, Guyu obviously didn't use all his strength. His 2 souls should have other effects. As expected, after dodging the destruction blade, the strange tiger roared in the distance. It didn't attack immediately. Guyu walked up and stood on the strange tiger. He said coldly, "You are indeed strong. If we continue to fight, I may not be able to defeat you." As soon as these words came out, the surrounding people were also stunned. What was going on? Was Guyu going to admit defeat? However, they soon realized that was not the case. Guyu said, "So, I am going to be serious. Be careful." After speaking, his eyes suddenly shone with a terrifying light. He charged to the other side. In the sky, a demon beast roared. It was a breeze sparrow. It was also an extremely terrifying demon beast. Its strength was not weaker than the giant demon statue. At this moment, it was controlled by Guyu. It charged over crazily. At the same time, the strange tiger attacked again. Everyone was shocked. No way. This guy was so strong. It was normal for a beast tamer to control many demon beasts to fight at the same time. However, it depended on what level they were at. The strange tiger and the Qingfeng sparrow were at the same level. It was already very impressive for the younger generation to be able to control one, not to mention controlling two at the same time. This was simply unimaginable. Was this the biggest trump card of two souls? It was really terrifying. Other geniuses couldn't compare to it. Chapter 4594. The breezy sparrow tore the body of the destruction flood dragon apart like a wind blade. The flames of the strange tiger forced the destruction flood dragon to retreat. In an instant, the destruction flood dragon was completely suppressed and was severely injured. Xiao Xiu's face turned pale as she felt the impact on her soul. Oh no, this guy is so terrifying. She used all her strength to perform the hallucinatory melody to stabilize the destruction flood dragon. She looked anxious as she did not know what to do. Lin Xian said, "You stabilize the destruction flood dragon and leave the rest to me." "All right." Xiao Xiu nodded and used all her strength to control the destruction flood dragon. Lin Xian raised his head and looked at the breezy sparrow. A golden light appeared in his eyes as his soul attacked. The heavenly secret divine eyes were extremely powerful. In an instant, the breezy sparrow roared again. He stopped attacking the destruction flood dragon and turned around to grab the strange tiger. He sent the strange tiger flying. Seeing the scene, the people who were watching the battle from afar exclaimed in shock. What was going on? Was the breezy sparrow crazy? Or did Guyu fail to control the breezy sparrow? No, it was Lin Xian who forcefully controlled the breezy sparrow. The elders of the Mountain Sea Palace all stood up in shock. They looked at Lin Xian and nodded their heads. He was a top-notch eye technique genius. He was also a soul expert. Elder Wachen's eyes also shone brightly. What a terrifying eye technique. It was a bloodline eye technique. The strange tiger was sent flying, and cracks appeared on its body. Guyu frowned. He also felt the impact on his soul. He was actually able to seize control of his destruction flood dragon. He harumphed coldly. He controlled the strange tiger to attack continuously, while he charged toward the green peak sparrow with the other. He wanted to seize control of his destruction flood dragon back. Their souls kept attacking the breezy sparrow's mind. Guyu's face sank. He realized that he could not seize control of his destruction flood dragon. Damn it, his opponent's eye technique was so powerful. He roared and stopped controlling the strange tiger. His two souls attacked the breezy sparrow together. He did not believe that his two souls could not win against Guyu. Lin Xian also felt the pressure. So strong. His dual souls were indeed extraordinary. His heavenly secret divine eyes were not something his opponent could have imagined. The heavenly secret map in his eyes shone brightly. At this moment, the breeze sparrow's soul could no longer withstand the pressure and fell from the sky. Had he fallen? Everyone in the distance was dumbfounded. What a top-notch battle. A terrifying demonic beast was actually killed directly. Damn it, Guyu gritted his teeth. Was he going to lose to the other party? He couldn't stand it. He had never taken anyone seriously. Even Qing Chen and Mu Lingfeng were not worthy of his attention. Now that Lin Xian had appeared, he felt even more pressured. He roared angrily and searched for other demonic beasts to control. This time, he wanted to control 3 demonic beasts. His terrifying soul force covered the sky. The surrounding demonic beasts all roared uneasily. The destruction flood dragon was also retreating in defeat. Xiao Xiu's face turned pale. Too powerful. She couldn't block it at all. Lin Xian snorted coldly. You want to fight? I'll accompany you to the end. He raised his head and looked at the sky. His golden eyes were like the eyes of a god, looking at the 9 heavens. Suddenly, a roar rang out. A golden figure appeared in the sky and charged over. The moment he appeared, the surrounding demonic beasts prostrated themselves on the ground. Even the strange tiger retreated quickly. Gu Yu felt a chill down his spine and immediately retreated. The others were stunned. The golden figure was actually the metal spirit beast. It couldn't be. This was a Saint King advanced stage. This kid could actually control it? The people from Shanghai Coco were also stunned. Elder Shenge and the others were all dumbfounded. Even a 3-soul beast tamer wouldn't be able to control such an existence. This kid's eye technique, what level had it reached? I admit defeat. Guyu sighed. He wasn't a match for Lin Xian. He didn't expect someone in Shanghai City to surpass him. He even felt that Lin Xian was unfathomable. Guyu admitted defeat. Countless people exclaimed. Everyone was stunned. They couldn't believe it. This was the genius who had the highest chance of becoming number 1. Now that he admitted defeat, wouldn't it mean that Lin Xian and Xiao Xiu were the number 1? It was too unbelievable. Previously, they had thought of many possibilities, but none of them had thought of this. Great, I'm not dreaming, right? The people from the Xiao clan were so excited that they were about to cry. The people from the Green clan gritted their teeth. Damn it, this kid's strength and talent were way above theirs. Would they be confident in the next round? Damn kid, you dare to control me? At this moment, a roar shook the heavens. The metal spirit beast came back to his senses. A pair of cold eyes stared at Lin Xian. He was furious. He didn't pay attention to the previous battles. Moreover, he didn't think that anyone could control him. Hence, he was careless and was controlled by Lin Xian. He gritted his teeth in anger. Lin Xian laughed. I'm just borrowing your strength. Don't be so petty. Damn kid. He slapped his claw over. However, Lin Xian dodged instantly. Do you want to fight? A golden glow appeared in his eyes. Xiao Mu, who was in the sky, shouted. Metal spirit beast, get lost. The terrifying heavenly sound rushed over. The metal spirit beast was so scared that his scalp went numb. He soared into the sky and looked at Xiao Mu in horror. This person was too strong. He could probably control him in an instant. Without the threat of the metal spirit beast, Lin Xian looked around and said coldly, Who else wants to challenge me? The surrounding people were silent. What a joke. So many geniuses were no match for you. Who would dare to challenge you? Seeing that no one dared to answer, Lin Xian turned to look at the Mountain Sea Palace and said, Seniors of the Mountain Sea Palace, I still have a life and death battle. I wonder if you can announce the first place in advance? I think that no one can challenge us. The people of the Mountain Sea Palace also took a deep breath and quickly discussed. Not long after, Elder Seven Spirits walked over and said loudly, All right, the rules are changed this time. We will announce the first place in advance. This time, the first place of the Mountain Sea Beast battles was Lin Xian and Xiao Xiu. They would obtain supreme glory and the seal of life and death. Both of them were qualified to enter the Mountain Sea Palace and become its members. At the same time, they would receive the protection of the Mountain Sea Palace. In Shanghai City, whoever dares to touch the two of them would be an enemy of the Mountain Sea Palace. Countless people were in an uproar. Many envious gazes looked over. The two of them had everything, be it status, glory, supernatural powers, absolute arts, or safety. Great, we succeeded. We finally succeeded. The people of the Xiao clan cheered. This was their most glorious moment. The leader of the Xiao clan gritted his teeth. Damn it, we can't do anything to Xiao Xiu now. The faces of the Green clan were also ugly. This marriage alliance would be difficult to proceed. They didn't dare to resist. The Mountain Sea Palace. It was all because of this despicable kid. They stared at Lin Xian with killing intent in their eyes. Qing Chen also stood up and said, "Father, don't worry. I will go and kill him now." He was really mad. This was his glory, but it was snatched away by someone else. He had to take his revenge. Chapter 4595. Chen, have you recovered to your peak? Qing Chen nodded. Clan leader Qing said, "Good, then get ready." After that, he stood up and said loudly, "Winning first place in the Mountain Sea Fighting Beast competition is probably the greatest glory in your life, because you will go to hell next." Clan leader Qing's voice spread in all directions. Everyone quieted down. They knew that there was a life and death battle waiting for Lin Xian. Whether or not Lin Xian could enjoy the supreme glory and noble status would depend on whether or not he could survive the battle of life and death. "Have you recovered? Come on then." Lin Xian didn't care. Clan leader Qing looked at the people of Mountain Sea Palace. They said, "Elder of Mountain Sea Palace, I have a request. I don't want anyone to disturb this life and death battle. So I hope that the Mountain Sea Fighting Beast competition will be temporarily suspended and another arena will be open for the life and death battle. This space can only hold 2 people, no other demonic beasts or humans." As soon as these words came out, the crowd was in an uproar. On Shao Clan's side, the 7th elder gritted his teeth. They must have seen that Lin Gongzi could control the golden spirit beast, so they were worried that he would control it during the life and death battle. In this case, Lin Gongzi was really in danger. Xiao Shiyu's face was pale as she looked at Mountain Sea Palace. "Let's plead together and ask him to reject this request." Lin Xian said, "It doesn't matter. I can just ask for anything. Did he need to use his demonic beast to kill his opponent? What a joke. These people would soon know his true strength." The people of Mountain Sea Palace looked at Lin Xian and said, "What do you have to say about this?" Lin Xian said, "Nothing. I also want to open up an independent space. I don't want this battle to affect others." "Okay, since that's the case, let's begin." Those experts opened up another space in the square. There was no one in the space. Only Lin Xian and Qing Chen could enter. The others also stopped fighting. Instead, they were all watching the battle to the death. Qing Chen walked in and sneered, "Kid, I really didn't expect you to get first place. However, you are about to die. This is my honor. If I kill you, the Mountain Sea Palace will take me seriously. I am the only genius. Xiao Shiyu is also mine, and you can only go to hell." After saying this, he waved his hand as his eyes emitted a brilliant glow. Countless beasts appeared around him, blotting out the sky and covering the earth. These demonic beasts ranged from sages to sage kings. This time, he had to go all out and not let go of any opportunity. Too strong. Countless people looked at this scene in shock. Individually, these demonic beasts were no match for the demonic tiger and the giant devil, but together they were a terrifying force. Moreover, this was enough to show that Qing Chen's soul pupil technique was extremely terrifying. To be able to control so many demonic beasts at the same time was simply a rare genius. More importantly, the leading demon beast was a crimson blood demon wolf. This was a demonic beast in the middle stage of the Saint King realm. It was no weaker than the strange tiger and the giant demon. Everyone knew that they were really going all out. "Kid, I'll make sure you die a horrible death." Qing Chen looked at Lin Xian and revealed a cruel smile. Lin Xian laughed. "You are too naive. In my eyes, you will always be an ant, no matter how many demonic beasts you control. You are still arrogant when you are about to die." Qing Chen waved his hand, and the eye of the blade quickly attacked. The surrounding demonic beasts all roared and rushed out. They enveloped Lin Xian in an overwhelming manner. Lin Xian, on the other hand, struck out. His golden palm carried the 9 suns' divine fire, vast and mighty. Under the palm, cracks appeared on the surrounding demonic beasts, and then they shattered. The sky was filled with a bloody mist. Lin Xian's figure was like a god-fiend. The surrounding people were horrified. He was too strong. Damn it, kill him! Qing Chen activated the Crimson Blood Demon Wolf. The Crimson Blood Demon Wolf roared and turned into a blood-colored lightning charging forward. This was the strongest attack, and everyone was watching nervously. However, Lin Xian was calm and composed. He formed a seal with his palm, and the man-ruler seal was slapped out like a heavenly king. The attack was aimed at the Crimson Blood Demon Wolf. The Crimson Blood Demon Wolf was horrified. At the last moment, he retreated because he sensed a fatal danger. However, it was too late. After the attack, his body was torn apart. Is he dead? The terrifying Crimson Blood Demon Wolf could not even block a single attack from Lin Xian. This person was too strong. He did not even use his full strength before. Everyone was horrified. They knew that they had underestimated Lin Xian. The people of the Green Clan stood up abruptly, gritting their teeth. Damn it, how could this be? The Crimson Blood Demon Wolf could kill any expert, but it could not do anything to Lin Xian. This guy was like a god of war. The people of the Shao clan were also shocked. Lin Xian looked forward and said indifferently, "Did you see that? You are not worthy to be my opponent. What other secret techniques do you have? Show them all." How could this be? Qing Chen was horrified. Previously, he had taken out all the demonic beasts that he could control. He thought that he could easily kill Lin Xian, but now he was in despair. Even if Lin Xian did not control the demonic beasts, his strength alone was unparalleled. Feeling Lin Xian's gaze, Qing Chen clenched his teeth. Qing Chen gritted his teeth. "Brat, just you wait. This matter isn't over yet." He turned around and wanted to leave. Lin Xian laughed heartily. "Why? You wanted to kill me so many times before. Now that I have used my strongest attack, you want to leave? What do you think I, Lin Xian, am? Where do you think this is? Do you think you can come and go as you please? This is a battle of life and death. Only one person can walk out alive today." Lin Xian released a terrifying killing intent. He clenched his fist and charged over. "How dare you?" the leader of the Green Clan roared. Many experts of the Green Clan rushed over, wanting to save him. However, Lin Xian's palm was faster. He punched out, like the sun flying between heaven and earth. Qing Chen felt a fatal danger. He turned around and shouted angrily. Lin Xian was courting death. A terrifying saber light burst out from his eyes. Eyes of the blade, burn for me. He burned his bloodline and struck out a green saber light. It was as if a peerless saber was slashing down. Boom! The golden fist moved forward and collided with the peerless saber. An earth-shattering sound was heard, and the entire barrier was shattered. The peerless saber was shattered. Lin Xian continued to attack and hit Qing Chen's body. Boom! Qing Chen's body was torn into pieces, and his soul escaped. At this moment, the experts of the Green Clan had arrived. "Father, Elder, save me." He saw hope. However, at the next moment, a sword light slashed across his soul. It carried a destructive aura. It made his soul disappear quickly. No, he let out a cry of despair. Then his soul turned into nothingness and disappeared. Dead. Young Master Qing Chen was really dead. Everyone went crazy. Chapter 4596. The 2 elders of the Green Tribe shouted in anger, "You're courting death." The 2 of them attacked Lin Xian with a shocking blow. "Not good." Xiao Xiu exclaimed. She was about to faint. Xiao Mu's eyes were filled with killing intent. "You dare to attack?" Boom! A deafening sound was heard. Everything was too late. "Not good." Xiao Mu's expression changed. These were 2 elders of the Green tribe. The others exclaimed, "Could it be that this kid was going to die? Was he going to die?" The leader of the Shao tribe sneered. It was great that such a strong enemy had died. Although he would feel numb after this, the space in front of them was shattered. The morning mist spread, and three figures appeared. Lin Xian stood there with two palms on his body. Golden light formed a strange rune on his body. It was like the sun shining in all directions. Two palms landed on his body, but there wasn't a single crack on his body. How could it be? The two elders of the Green tribe were stunned. They were almost at the late Holy King realm. The two of them could fight against a late Holy King realm expert with their full strength. No matter how strong this kid was, he wouldn't be able to block it. But what was going on now? They felt as if they had hit a mountain. They couldn't break through Lin Xian's defense. The surrounding people were stunned when they saw this. Xiao Shiyu and the rest heaved a sigh of relief. Great, nothing happened. Lin Xian raised his head and looked at the two elders. His eyes were filled with coldness. This is a battle of life and death between me and him. How dare you attack me? You deserve to die. His hands formed the human ruler seal and slapped towards the two elders. The two elders narrowed their eyes. Not good. They quickly retreated. Vines flew out from one of them. The other formed a spiritual shield to block the attack. Boom, boom, boom. A deafening sound was heard. The two elders' bodies split apart and turned into blood mist. They couldn't believe that Lin Xian could kill them so easily. The surrounding people were stunned. They couldn't believe it. These were two elders. They were extremely powerful existences in the middle stage of the Saint King realm, yet they had been killed in a single move. The people from the Green clan were also stunned, and then they quickly retreated. Previously, they had also come to help, but they were not as fast as the two elders. At this moment, they were frantically fleeing. Seeing this scene, Lin Xian sneered. "Since you're here, don't leave." With a flick of his wrist, several streaks of sword chi flew out, and like massive dragons, they enveloped the group. The bodies of the three people split open and fell from the sky. "Damn it! How dare you?" The leader of the Green clan roared and rushed over. His palm seemed to have transformed into a world of its own, carrying with it a terrifying aura. Lin Xian frowned. The clan leader's strength was extremely terrifying. He had reached the peak of the Saint King stage. At that moment, Elder Ruochen snorted coldly. A demonic beast flew out from his demonic beast pouch. He turned into a bolt of lightning and charged over. It was a lightning eagle, which directly sent the patriarch of the Green clan flying. Elder Ruochen flew over and stood on the lightning eagle as he said coldly, "You dare to attack him?" He took first place in the Mountain Sea trials, so the Mountain Sea Palace will protect him. Do you want to be enemies with the Mountain Sea Palace? The patriarch of the Green clan had just stabilized himself when he heard this. He spat out a mouthful of blood. He was really mad. His son was killed in front of everyone, and he even lost a few elders, but he couldn't do anything to Lin Xian. "I'm asking you a question. Don't you understand?" Elder Ruochen shouted coldly. The patriarch of the Green clan gritted his teeth and said, "I don't dare to." After saying that, he seemed to have aged 1,000 years. He turned around and said to the people of the Green clan, "Let's go." He couldn't stay here any longer, or he would die of anger. Looking at the back of the Green clan, everyone was stunned. No one would have thought that the insufferably arrogant Green clan would end up like this. How could it be? The patriarch of the Shao clan couldn't believe it, and the uncle of the Shao clan was also terrified. This kid was actually so powerful. He had wanted to kill Lin Xian several times before, but now it seemed that it was easy for Lin Xian to kill him. All right, the matter of the Green clan has been settled. Next, it's time to settle the matter of the Shao clan. Xiao Mu descended from the sky and looked at the patriarch of the Shao clan. As the patriarch of the Shao clan, You didn't put the Shao clan in your eyes and even went against the rules of the Shao clan. How should you be punished? The patriarch of the Shao clan felt his scalp go numb. The first elder shouted coldly. Shao Mu couldn't do anything to him. He was the patriarch, and even if he did something wrong, he had to be punished by the old ancestor. Now that the old ancestor was in a deep sleep, he couldn't. Before the patriarch could finish his words, Shao Mu slapped him with his spiritual palm, turning the first elder into a bloody mist. Even his soul couldn't escape. You're not qualified to talk to me. The people of the Shao clan felt their scalps go numb, and the second elder knelt on the ground. The patriarch of the Shao clan gritted his teeth and said, "What do you want? What do I want?" Shao Mu snorted coldly, and his eyes shone with a cold light. After saying that, he attacked forcefully, and a spiritual sword killed the second elder. Then he charged towards the patriarch of the Shao clan. Shao Li roared, "Don't go too far." He counterattacked forcefully, summoning a few powerful demonic beasts that swept across the area. The two of them engaged in a terrifying battle, and the surrounding people retreated. However, no matter how powerful Shao Li was, how could he be a match for Shao Mu? After 100 moves, he was defeated, and his body was stained with blood. He gritted his teeth and roared, "Damn it, I can't accept this." Soon after, his soul was also destroyed by Shao Mu. Everyone was silent. At this moment, the third elder shouted at Shao Mu, "Sixth uncle, I hope you can be the patriarch of the Shao clan." "Yes, that's right. Pay your respects to the new patriarch." The other elders also bowed one after another. Shao Mu stood there. "All right, I'll take over the Shao clan again." Initially, he didn't want to care about anything, but seeing the Shao clan in such a state, he was afraid that it would decline if this continued. He had to step up. Among the crowd, the first uncle knelt on the ground and shouted, "Old ancestor, please don't kill me. Please spare my life. Shao Yu, please give me a chance." Seventh elder, "Please help me beg for mercy." He was really frightened. Shao Yu frowned, but the seventh elder sneered. "Give you a chance? You wanted to kill us previously." The first uncle was in despair. He knew that even the patriarch had fallen, and there was no way he could live. He begged, "Please let my daughter go." Shao Mu said coldly, "Don't worry, I'll let her go, but you'll have to find out for yourself." The first uncle gritted his teeth. His soul burned, and he disappeared from the world. Looking at the fallen body of the other party, everyone closed their eyes. This guy had courted his own death. As for Shao Yu, although she was arrogant, she was talented. With Shao Mu's help, her memory was erased. This way, the other party wouldn't take revenge, and she could work for the Shao clan in the future. The moment Shao Mu came out, he showed his ruthless methods and reorganized the Shao clan. The other clans and sects also came to congratulate Shao Mu on his return. There were also some sects that wanted to cooperate with the Shao clan. After all, Shao Yu had become the number one, and she was favored by the Mountain Sea Palace. With Shao Mu's return, the strength of the Shao clan would definitely increase by leaps and bounds. Chapter 4597. Cooperating with the Shao clan was the wisest choice at this time. Of course, most of them wanted to invite Lin Xian. After this battle, they could see that Lin Xian's talent and strength were completely above the geniuses of the Mountain Sea Palace. It was unbelievable. Lin Xian rejected these requests, saying that inviting him was the same as inviting Shao Yu. So they turned to invite the Shao clan. Meanwhile, the elders of the Mountain Sea Palace walked over to them. Among them, Elder Xian Gui sighed. He also seemed to have aged by many years. The disciple he took in was actually killed by someone. Elder Yen Luo smiled and said, "Looks like your snow fox is mine." Elder Black Turtle said, "I'll give it to you. From now on, I'll go into seclusion and won't come out for 100 years. After saying that, he turned and left. On the other side, Elder Yen Luo was very happy. She came to Xiao Yu to take her as her disciple. She was a 5-soul beast tamer. Xiao Yu was naturally happy to take her as her master. Everyone congratulated her again. Then, the elders came to Lin Xian's side. Elder Ruochen personally offered Lin Xian an olive branch, hoping that he would take Lin Xian as his disciple. However, Lin Xian rejected. He said, "Seniors, I'm sorry, but I won't be staying here for long. Please forgive me." The elders and geniuses of the beast tamer clans almost vomited blood after hearing that. They dreamed of entering the Mountain Sea Palace, but they were rejected by this kid. How could there be such a big gap between them? The elders of the Mountain Sea Palace were also stunned. He was probably the first person to reject them. Elder Ruochen smiled bitterly. "You little guy, forget it, but you can come to the Mountain Sea Palace as a guest." Of course, Lin Xian smiled and said, "Thank you for your understanding." On the other side, Xiao Yu also came to Xiao Mu to greet her grandfather. Xiao Mu liked Xiao Yu very much and kept nodding. The family was reunited. The 7th elder was very excited. She came to Lin Xian to express her gratitude. If it weren't for Lin Xian, all of this would have been a dream. And now, it had been successfully realized. Xiao Mu said, "Lin Gongzi, the proposal from before won't change. How about it? Are you willing to marry me, your granddaughter?" The 7th elder also nodded. She was very satisfied. Xiao Shiyu's little face blushed. She blushed and ran away. Lin Xian was also stunned. Then he said, "Elder Xiao, you know that I still have some things to do." As he spoke up to hear, a hint of coldness appeared in his eyes. Xiao Mu said, "All right, I don't care about the matters of you young people. I'm just giving you an opinion. As for what you want to do, it's up to you. When the time comes, I might be able to help you with the things you mentioned." "Really?" Lin Xian was surprised. Xiao Mu said, "Naturally, you let me regain control of the Xiao clan and helped my granddaughter successfully enter the Mountain Sea Palace. How could I not help you with such a big favor? No matter what you do, even if you have to go through fire and water, I will not hesitate." "All right, then I won't hold back." Lin Xian's eyes lit up. With such a top beast tamer, his following actions would be much more convenient. Next, the competition continued. Because the first place had been decided, the other rankings had not yet been decided. Therefore, Lin Xian returned to the spectator stand and continued watching the competition. Finally, all the competitions had ended. The 2nd place was Gu Yu, the 3rd place was Mu Lingfeng, and the 4th place was Han Xiao. Countless people began to congratulate them. The beast tamer clans also heaved a sigh of relief. Fortunately, other than Lin Xian and Xiao Xiu, the rest of the competition went on as usual. Next, Lin Xian and Xiao Xiu went up again. They stood in the most glorious place and received the envy and worship of countless people. The Mountain Sea Palace elder walked up and gave each of them a token. This was the Mountain Sea token. In the entire Shanghai city, they were protected by the Mountain Sea Palace. At the same time, they began to give out the prizes. Lin Xian and the others were invited to enter the Mountain Sea Palace to cultivate. At the same time, those who ranked in the top 10 were also qualified to enter. Soon, Lin Xian and Xiao Xiu followed Elder Ruochen out of the competition square and set off for the Mountain Sea Palace. The Mountain Sea Palace was even more magnificent. After Lin Xian entered, he received the seal of life and death. He and Xiao Xiu entered their respective secret rooms and began to cultivate. Lin Xian had an ancient seal in his hand. It was emitting a terrifying aura of life and death. His eyes shone with golden light. He began to comprehend the seal of life and death. The seal of life and death was a powerful soul superpower. It was used to control the life and death of people. For the beast tamer clans, it was a supreme treasure. Lin Xian also needed it, because next he would control many powerful beasts and then return to the Misty Peak to save his friends. Misty Peak and the 6 great caves. Just wait. He would return soon. A year later, Lin Xian came out of seclusion. After coming out, his eyes shone with an even more terrifying aura. This time, he had mastered the seal of life and death. This terrifying cultivation speed shocked the elders of the Mountain Sea Palace even more. One had to know that even a top genius could not master a superpower like the seal of life and death so quickly. Elder Ruochen was even more determined. Lin Xian had a pair of strange eyes. Indeed, under the heavenly secret divine eyes, all soul superpowers became simple for Lin Xian. Otherwise, Lin Xian spent another half a year cultivating the melody of phantom sound. Then he took out the heavenly secret eye that Xiaomu had given him and continued to comprehend it. This made his heavenly secret divine powers stronger again. In the next half a year, Lin Xian continued to stay in the Mountain Sea Palace. He asked Elder Ruochen to let him view other soul secret techniques. Elder Ruochen was very surprised by Lin Xian's talent. He thought that Lin Xian would have unparalleled achievements in the future. The Mountain Sea Palace naturally wanted to befriend such a genius. Therefore, they made an exception and let Lin Xian view many soul superpowers and secret techniques. This time, it actually took him another year of time. Lin Xian's heavenly secret divine eyes now contained endless mysteries. After integrating these soul secret techniques, Lin Xian's understanding of the soul increased to another level. Lin Xian felt that it was about time to go back. So, on this day, he stood up and went to Elder Ruochen to explain his intention. Elder Ruochen said, "Okay, I won't stop you if you have something to do, but you must come back to the Mountain Sea Palace often." Then Lin Xian went to find Xiao Shiyu and said a few words. Xiao Shiyu's eyes instantly turned red. She said, "I'll go with you." Lin Xian said, "There will be a very fierce battle when I go back this time. When the time comes, it will be a life and death crisis. You'd better stay here and cultivate. Don't worry, I'll be fine. Besides, you just got a new master. You'd better hurry up and learn. When I come back, I hope you'll be a 3-soul beast tamer." "Okay, that's what you said. When I become a 3-soul beast tamer, you must come back," Xiao Shiyu said with a determined look. Chapter 4598. Of course. Why would I lie to you? Lin Xian smiled and left the Mountain Sea Palace. He returned to the Xiao clan. The Xiao clan welcomed him with the highest standard. Xiaomu came personally. "Lin Gongzi, you're finally here." Now that he had regained control of the Xiao clan, he was in high spirits. He was no longer as desolate as before. Lin Xian came and explained his intentions. Xiaomu said, "All right, I'll go with you, but give me 10 days to make the arrangements." For the next few days, Lin Xian stayed in the Xiao clan temporarily. When Xiao Shiyu heard the news, she returned to the clan to accompany Lin Xian. Lin Xian and Xiao Shiyu strolled around. When he saw the willow catkins, he was shocked again. "Xiao Shiyu, what was that?" When he first came, he saw the catkins. It seemed to be a powerful array. Xiao Shiyu said, "This is the guardian of our Xiao clan. It's a willow tree that has been in our clan since a long time ago. It's now a great sage. This willow catkin flies around the Xiao clan to protect our clan." Next, Xiao Shiyu led Lin Xian through the pavilion and walked towards the depths of the Xiao clan. Finally, he saw an old willow tree. It shone with a holy radiance. The 7 stars of the great sage surrounded it. Lin Xian looked at it from afar and was shocked. It seemed like the Xiao clan was much stronger than he had imagined. They had a sage, and he heard that there was a true sage who was in a deep slumber. Xiao Shiyu said, Other than our Shao clan, the other top clans also have such guardians. They're all great sages. Great sage. Lin Xian looked forward to it. He didn't know when he could reach this realm. Let's go. In the evening, the two went back. For the next few days, the two stayed together. On this day, Xiao Mu came over and said, Lin Gongzi, it's done. Oh, is that so? Lin Xian took a deep breath. All right, I'll prepare to leave. Xiao Shiyu's eyes reddened again. Lin Xian said, Don't worry, I'll be back. Xiao Shiyu nodded. Xiao Mu also took out 3 willow branches. He took one and gave the other 2 to Lin Xian and Xiao Shiyu. What is this? Lin Xian was surprised. He could feel a powerful life force from it, as well as a terrifying law. Xiao Shiyu was also surprised. This was the guardian deity's willow branch. Xiao Mu nodded. That's right, this was the guardian deity's willow branch. These 2 willow branches can be used for self-defense. Lin Xian was overjoyed. He now had another trump card. He carefully kept the willow branch and waved goodbye to Xiao Shiyu. He and Xiao Mu soared into the air and left the Xiao residence. The 2 of them planned to head to the 100,000 forest and the Black Sea to subdue some demonic beasts. Then he left. This time, they had to be well prepared. At this moment, the sound of something breaking through the air could be heard from afar. Lin Xian's eyes shone brightly as he looked into the distance, a look of shock on his face. Xiao Mu stopped. It was actually him. A figure flew over from afar. He had a handsome face. He strode over. It was Lone Moon Yu. What do you want? Lin Xian asked curiously. Do you still want to compete? Lone Moon Yu shook his head. I am not your opponent now. Moreover, you have the seal of life and death. I have never lost to anyone before. This time, I lost to you, and I lost wholeheartedly. Therefore, I want to follow you for a period of time. Follow? Lin Xian was surprised. Then he said, I'm afraid that's not possible. Now, I have to leave Shanghai City to complete a very important matter. It's nothing. I can leave too. Anyway, I can cultivate anywhere. You won't regret it? If I do this, it will be very dangerous. I might have to fight with many top sections. Lone Moon Yu was also surprised. This kid actually had such thoughts. Was he going to fight with a sect alone? But soon, he smiled. No wonder I am not as good as you. Since you have such confidence, then I should follow you. Also, I think you should know my talent. Although I am not as good as you, I am still a top expert. I think I should be able to help by your side. Moreover, we beast tamers can control tens of thousands of beasts. There was once a top beast tamer who took down a sect alone. This was not wrong. If it was an extremely terrifying beast tamer, such as the one in the Mountain Sea Palace, who could control a great sage and bring tens of thousands of beasts, they could definitely wipe out a sect. A truly powerful beast tamer was simply too terrifying. Well, in that case, you can join us. Welcome. Lin Xian smiled. Lone Moon Yu also smiled. Then, the 3 of them set off for the 100,000 mountains. Lin Xian said that he had met a frostfire swan in the 100,000 mountains. This time, he was going to subdue it. Xiao Mu said, Fine, this old man will also go and subdue a few peak monster beasts. On the other side, Lone Moon also acted alone. The 3 of them agreed to meet here in a month. Then Lin Xian flew towards the depths of the 100,000 mountains. Not long after, he felt terrifying ice and flames spreading in front of him. The corners of his mouth curled up into a smile. That should be the territory of the frostfire swan. Buzz. He flew over and tore apart the laws of ice and fire. He said coldly, Frostfire swan, get out here. In the distance, terrifying flames swept across and terrifying ice spread. A huge creature walked over. The world was trembling. Its huge wings spread out, causing half of the sky to freeze and the other half to be like fire. The beasts in the surrounding area knelt down and submitted. The Frostfire Swan shouted coldly, "Who is it? How dare you disturb my rest?" Its gaze pierced through the world. When it saw Lin Xian, it was instantly furious. "Damn human brat, it's actually you. How could it not know him? Last time, it was him who acted wildly. It didn't expect him to come back now. Why, are you here to die?" Lin Xian said, "I'll give you a chance. If you obediently submit to me now, you will suffer a lot less. Subdue me? Ha 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 ha. A mere beast tamer wants to challenge me? You don't know what's good for you. You're only at the early stage of the Sacred King realm. What do you have to fight me?" The Frostfire Swan sneered. With a flap of its wings, flames filled the sky and enveloped Lin Xian. Stupid ant. In its opinion, this attack was enough to kill the other party. Unexpectedly, Lin Xian was not injured at all. Instead, he attacked forcefully. A huge golden hand descended from the sky, turning into a sky and pressing down. The Frostfire Swan felt a huge pressure. Even the flames on its body dimmed. "Damn it," it roared. Terrifying ice flew out to contend with it. The sword of ice and fire merged. Lin Xian fought with it. It was earth-shattering. Mountain-embracing seal. An ancient demonic mountain descended from the sky and suppressed the Frostfire Swan. At the same time, an extremely terrifying light erupted from Lin Xian's eyes. Seal of life and death. A terrifying soul imprint merged into the other party's mind and bombarded it non-stop. The Frostfire Swan roared. It didn't expect the other party to become so powerful in such a short time, especially this soul imprint. It felt a threat to its life. Chapter 4599. Ice and Fire Bloodline Break. A trace of madness appeared in the Ice-Fire Swan's eyes as the crazy bloodline power burned. A terrifying ice and fire law directly split open, causing the sky to collapse and the earth to crack. Lin Xian also felt a huge impact. He took out the Great Destruction Spear. The power of destruction erupted and cleaved down, splitting apart the destructive power. The soul imprint and the seal of life and death erupted again, attacking continuously. The Ice-Fire Swan despaired. Its bloodline was burning, and it was difficult to not kill the other party. In the end, it was enveloped by the soul imprint. The seal of life and death appeared in its mind as it completely submitted to Lin Xian. Very good. The corners of Lin Xian's mouth curled up as he asked, "What else is there around here?" "Find all the demonic beasts of the same level as you." Next, Lin Xian swept through all the demonic beasts. A month had passed, and he returned with 5 late-stage Saint King demonic beasts. Gu Yu also returned with 2 late-stage Saint King demonic beasts. On the other side, Xiao Mu returned with a full load. His strength was very terrifying. He suppressed 3 peak Saint Kings. There were also 10 late-stage Saint Kings. Next, Lin Xian and the other 2 controlled the demonic beasts that had been subdued and gathered a group of subordinates. Lin Xian took them into the Black Earth. "Let's go to the Black Sea again." The 3 of them soared into the sky and continued to head towards the Black Sea. This time, Lin Xian directly entered and used his heavenly secret divine eyes. Soon, a black water mystical snake appeared. Behind him followed tens of thousands of demonic beasts. They were all very terrifying demonic saints. "Greetings, Master." "Very good." Lin Xian took the tens of thousands of demonic beasts into the Black Sea, and then attacked again. This time, they took in dozens of top-tier demonic beasts, and then left. The 3 of them entered the Black Earth and left the Black Sea, heading towards the eastern region of the heavenly spiral continent. Lin Xian prepared to return to the Xiantian Pavilion first before returning to the 1,000 Mountain Cave. During the process, Lin Xian and the others cultivated. Finally, they arrived at the eastern region. Lin Xian descended from the sky and arrived at the Xiantian Pavilion. After entering, he saw Jian Wuck and the others. Jian Wuck was also delighted. "You are fine. That is great." Lin Xian expressed his thoughts, and Jian Wuck nodded. "All right, we will wait for your signal." Next, Lin Xian left again. He continued to ride the black earth and flew towards the Misty Peak. The ethereal peak was located in the northern region of the heavenly spiral continent. After Lin Xian's group arrived, they exited the black earth. He didn't go directly to the Misty Peak or the Thousand Mountain Grotto. Instead, they settled down in a nearby city. Other than the grotto heavens in the vicinity, there were some larger cities. These cities were the antiquity cities. However, it was also very prosperous. All the grotto heavens had their own businesses in these huge cities. Lin Xian changed his appearance and aura before arriving at one of the huge cities. He walked in with Guyu. Xiao Mu left. He had other things to do. Lin Xian was prepared to set up a trap. Then he would slowly lure the six paradise into his trap. Next, he would be able to control them. After entering the Moonlight City, Lin Xian asked Guyu to make a trip to the auction. They were auctioning a demonic beast. It was a mutated beast, and it was very young. As long as they subdued it and nurtured it, it would be a demonic beast that could grow. In the future, it would be a powerful helper. Indeed, at the auction, this exquisite cat attracted the attention of countless people. Many people bid for it. One of the girls shouted coldly, "I want this item. Who dares to fight with me? Don't blame me for being rude." Being rude? Who is so arrogant? Some sage king sneered, unmoved. However, someone said, "Do you want to die? Don't you know who this girl is?" She was the little princess of the White Cloud Grotto. Her grandfather was a core elder of the White Cloud Grotto. Her father was the city lord of the White Cloud City. She was simply a girl blessed by the heavens. Would you dare to fight with such a person? Everyone felt their scalps go numb. How would they dare to fight with the heaven's daughter of the White Cloud Grotto? In the end, the exquisite cat landed in Bai Ling's hands. Bai Ling was very happy. She naturally knew that this was a mutated beast. So she immediately exchanged for the exquisite cat and left the auction house. Success. Guyu took the dragon marrow and returned to a manor. In the manor, Lin Xian was cultivating. When he heard these words, he nodded. In the next moment, he said, "White Cloud Grotto. All right, let's start with them." He formed a seal with his palm and began to contact Xiao Mu. Not long after, he stood up and said, "It's about time. We can prepare." On Xiao Mu's side, after receiving Lin Xian's message, a smile appeared on his face. He took out a flute and played the illusory melody. The illusory melody swept across the sky. In a mountain forest, countless demonic beasts were affected. In front of them, there was a mountain-like figure. It was a demonic beast with an exquisite aura. It was also an exquisite cat, and its strength was at the peak of the Sage King realm. With a roar, it charged towards Xiao Mu. Not only that, it was an overlord. It led millions of demonic beasts and attacked non-stop. Xiao Mu used his powerful soul to control the exquisite cat. Then he led it towards Moonlight City. Soon, a huge battle broke out. Countless demonic beasts began to attack Moonlight City. In an instant, the surrounding warriors were attacked. They fled into Moonlight City. The people in Moonlight City were shocked. Damn it, were these demonic beasts crazy? They actually dared to attack Moonlight City. Soon, there were Sage Kings attacking. However, this time, it was led by the exquisite cat. It was extremely terrifying. Therefore, the sages were no match for them. They retreated and activated the array. Moonlight City was a huge city. It had a powerful array. When the array was activated, it blocked the demonic beasts. The people inside heaved a sigh of relief. Outside, the exquisite cat controlled by Xiao Mu did not attack. Instead, it surrounded the entire Moonlight City. The atmosphere was incomparably tense for a moment. On the other side, a demonic beast attacked. Lin Xian nodded and said to Guyu, "That's enough." Captured by Ling, Guyu controlled the two dark shadow bats and rushed out. It was a majestic palace. Ordinary people could not enter it. In the palace of the Nine Chong Tower, Bai Ling looked at the exquisite cat in her hand and smiled. It was too cute. All of a sudden, the surrounding void split open, and two dark shadow bats charged over. Who was it? Bai Ling roared and slapped out. She was also a genius. She had reached the Sage King realm. Therefore, she was very strong. However, it was useless. This time, it was Guyu who attacked. Therefore, he quickly sealed Bai Ling and took her away. When the little maid came to invite Bai Ling for a meal, she found traces of a fight. Moreover, the person was gone. The little maid let out a frightened cry. Soon, the surrounding guards came. When they found out that Bai Ling had disappeared, their faces changed. Quickly, go and search. Who was it? Who was so reckless? Chapter 4600. The experts of White Cloud Grotto searched quickly, but they did not find anything. They knew something was wrong and quickly informed White Cloud Grotto. When Bai Ling's grandfather heard about it, he shouted coldly and rushed over with his men. When they arrived at Moonshine City, they asked about the situation. Elder Bai's face turned ugly. He said, "Is there anything wrong with Ling recently?" The people around him shook their heads. A guard said, "Nothing unusual. But Princess Ling recently got a pet, exquisite cat." "What? Exquisite cat?" When the experts of White Cloud Grotto heard this, their faces turned ugly. "What's going on?" A sage king said the demonic beasts were attacking Moonshine City, and the leader was a top-tier demonic beast, exquisite cat. Could it be that there was a relationship between the two? Elder Bai's face changed instantly. "Take me out of the city." Elder Bai led the experts of White Cloud Grotto out of the city quickly. There were countless demonic beasts outside the city. In front of them, there was a huge figure in the clouds. Elder Bai went up to talk to it personally. He asked, "Fellow demonic beast, how did White Cloud Grotto offend you? Can you let go of my granddaughter?" Exquisite Cat had a powerful demonic general under her command. It was a terrifying divine eagle. He flew over and said coldly, "You people of White Cloud Grotto are reckless. How dare you capture our young master as a pet? Wait for your death." What? The faces of the people of White Cloud Grotto changed. Elder Bai said, "Is there a misunderstanding? My granddaughter did get a spirit beast, but she got it at an auction. If you really have a grudge, you should go to the auction. You should not go to my granddaughter. Cut the crap. Our king said that if you want your granddaughter, you can. I'll give you 1 day to gather 1,000,000 dragon marrow. Otherwise, I'll send your granddaughter to hell." What? 1,000,000 dragon marrow in 1 day? What a joke. Even if they were from White Cloud Grotto, they could not do it. These demonic beasts dared to ask for so much. An expert of White Cloud Grotto beside Elder Bai said, "Elder, why are you talking to him? Let's kill him together." "That's right. How dare a mere demonic beast behave so atrociously in front of our paradise?" That demonic beast sneered. "You can attack. This time, our king has invited a few terrifying overlords. If you fail, we will immediately take action. You have to think clearly." Elder Bai Zhang clenched his teeth. "Let's go back and discuss a plan. At the very least, we have to investigate clearly. What was the situation with the other party?" Elder Bai gnashed his teeth and returned to the Moonshine City with his people. It was impossible for them to gather 1,000,000 dragon essences in a day, so they had to think of other ways. At this moment, Lin Xian made his move. This was the opportunity he had been waiting for. He changed his appearance and became a genius of the Green Clan. He came to the front of Elderbai's mansion. The guard went in to report. Elderbai was already annoyed to begin with. When she heard those words, she said coldly, "No." The guard said that the young man said that he had a way. "Is there really a way?" The Saint King at the side said, "What could a young man do?" The young man claimed to be from a family of beast tamers. Elderbai's eyes lit up. She knew that beast tamers were very famous in the Tianshan continent, even though they were not in their territory. Perhaps the young man really had a way. So she said, "Let him in." Soon, everyone saw a man in a black robe walk in and welcome them personally. How should I address this young man? Lin Xian said, "I am from Shanghai City, the Green Clan. I think you have heard of my family." Elderbai's eyes lit up. Shanghai City was a very famous city. The Green Clan was also a top family. Perhaps the geniuses there really had a way. It turned out to be a genius from the Green Clan. Elderbai was very happy. She said, "Young master, do you have a way?" Lin Xian said, "Very simple. My family of beast tamers naturally has a way to deal with those demonic beasts. However, I can't do it for no reason. Young master, if you have any requests, just say it." Lin Xian smiled. He said, "I came out this time mainly to improve my strength, so I need cultivation resources." "Don't worry about that. As long as you can successfully rescue Linger, you will be an important guest of the White Cloud Cave. I can give you any cultivation resources you want. I can even bring you to the sacred cultivation ground of the White Cloud Cave." Lin Xian did not answer immediately. Elderbai's eyes lit up when she saw this scene. She said a few words to her subordinates. Soon, a Saint King walked in with a storage ring in his hand. Elderbai took it and said, "Young master, these resources are a gift for our first meeting. Young master, take it first. After the matter is done, I will definitely reward you greatly." Lin Xian took it and scanned it with his soul spirit. His lips curled up into a smile. "Not bad, it's really generous. It seems like Teacher Bai is really anxious." He kept it and said, "All right, don't worry. I will take action tomorrow morning. I have to prepare today. All right, young master. Why don't you rest in my place?" Elderbai said. Lin Xian shook his head. "No, I like freedom. Don't let others follow me." "Don't worry, I understand." Then Elderbai began to wait. Lin Xian kept the storage ring after he came out. Then a cold light flashed in his eyes. His plan had already begun. With the monsters he controlled now, even if he attacked the 6 great caves, he would not be able to defeat them completely. After all, he was not a great saint-level beast tamer. Therefore, he was prepared to drive a wedge between these great caves. These great caves were all under the Misty Peak. The 6 great caves were about the same strength, but they all had conflicts with each other. No one was willing to submit to the other. It could be said that they had fought many times in the dark. Lin Xian wanted to seize this opportunity to magnify the conflicts between these great caves. It would be best if these great caves were completely at odds with each other. That way, he could benefit from it and use the power of heaven to suppress them. Now, he was preparing to gain the trust of the White Cloud Cave and then provoke the anger of the other great caves. He wanted them to fight with the White Cloud Cave. After returning to his own mansion, Lin Xian asked, "How did it go?" Gu Yu said that he had found someone from the Xiling Cave. This time, Lin Xian's target was a genius from the Violet Spirit Chamber, whose name was Zifeng. He was also a genius, and he was very arrogant. The whole process was very simple. Lin Xian deliberately met with him, then fought with him for a treasure and took it away from him in front of him. Zifeng was naturally unhappy. He immediately attacked Lin Xian. Lin Xian slapped Purple Wind until his body and soul were obliterated. Chapter 46:01. The surrounding guards went crazy. They went forward to attack, but they were all killed by Lin Xian. Only one person was left. This person fled and reported to the others in the grotto heaven. Not long after, a group of Saint Kings arrived and surrounded Lin Xian. "Kid, how dare you attack the people of Purple Spirit Shaking Sky? Do you want to die? Kneel down and wait for death." The group of Saint Kings released terrifying killing intent. Lin Xian sneered. "You dare to threaten me? I think you are the ones who don't know death. Don't you know who I am? How dare you offend me? Get lost, or don't blame me for being rude." Those sage kings quickly took action. Lin Xian stood in the field and sneered. "You dare to attack me? You don't know death." His eyes shone brightly as he released his soul power. A few demonic beasts flew out from the black earth and swept across the area. A thunder beast opened its mouth and spat out terrifying thunderbolts. It turned into peerless thunderbolts that swept across everything. There was also one that spewed out a terrifying poison that instantly turned a Saint King into ashes. The surrounding people roared crazily and quickly retreated. "Damn it, this guy can control demonic beasts. What is this? Could he be a beast tamer? Quickly inform our elders." Not long after, the elder of the Purple Spirit Grotto Heaven arrived. He shouted coldly. A few demonic beasts were not worth mentioning. In his opinion, these demonic beasts were mid-stage Saint Kings, and he was a late-stage Saint King. He did not believe that Lin Xian could fight against him. He stretched out a large hand and pressed down with monstrous laws. The surrounding people shook their heads and sighed. It was a pity that such a beast tamer genius had offended a grotto heaven. He did not know death. He probably came from somewhere else and did not know how terrifying the grotto heaven was here. The Saint Kings of the grotto heaven sneered. "Oh, the elder is here?" Lin Xian narrowed his eyes. The few people that he had killed earlier were nothing compared to Lin Xian. If he could kill an elder, then the Purple Spirit Grotto Heaven would definitely go crazy. At that time, the effect might be better. So he snorted. The purple palm descended, and the two mid-stage Saint Kings turned into a bloody mist. That elder laughed uproariously. "Did you see that, brat? Your demonic beast couldn't even withstand a single blow from me." Lin Xian also snorted coldly. "You really are an idiot. Do you think I only have these two demonic beasts?" He summoned the ice fire swan, and its huge figure appeared. Terrifying ice spread out in all directions, freezing everything. The terrifying flames burned and instantly enveloped the elder of the Violet Spirit Grotto. The elder from the Violet Spirit Grotto was struck by the impact. He retreated and spat out blood. His face was full of shock. "Damn it, a late-stage Saint King demonic beast. You actually possess such strength." He was truly stunned, no matter how he looked at it. This person looked like a young man. How could a young man possess such terrifying strength? It was really hard to believe. He was a top-notch beast, taming genius. So what? Whoever dared to make a move on their paradise, they could all go to hell. He roared at the sky, forming a terrifying imprint. Endless laws condensed into a mirror that pierced through heaven and earth. Boom! The ice shattered, and the flames split apart. One had to admit that this elder's strength was extremely powerful. The ice fire swan roared and quickly attacked. Its body transformed into more than 2 meters long, and like lightning, it fought with the elder. At this moment, Lin Xian also activated the heavenly secret divine eye. A terrifying golden light enveloped the elder's soul. The elder's soul was severely injured. At this moment, the ice fire swan seized the opportunity and formed an ice blade and a fire sword piercing through the elder's body. The elder was split into two halves. He let out a crazy roar, wanting to counterattack. However, Lin Xian activated the ice fire swan and firmly suppressed the elder's body. At the same time, the heavenly secret divine eye was activated again. Now, with Lin Xian's strength, it was not impossible for him to destroy the soul of a late-stage Saint King. Therefore, under his powerful eye technique and the attack of the ice fire swan, the elder's soul was destroyed. The surrounding people were stunned. This was an elder, a late-stage Saint King, but he actually died. It was really unbelievable. The expressions of the people from the grotto heaven also changed drastically. They quickly went to call for more elders. Not long after, another two elders came together. Lin Xian sneered. "Kneel down and kowtow to admit your mistakes, and I'll spare you." He was too arrogant. Everyone's scalps went numb. At the same time, Lo Moon also quickly set off for Elder Bai's residence to pass the news to Elder Bai. After Elder Bai learned of the situation, his expression changed drastically. He immediately led people over. One had to know that Lin Xian had just promised to help him save his granddaughter. If he died at this time, then his granddaughter, Bai Ling, would probably die as well. Naturally, he would not allow such a thing to happen, so he quickly attacked. "Kid, how dare you? No one has ever dared to kill an elder of our purple spirit grotto heaven. Even if you are a beast tamer, you will not be able to escape death today." The two elders walked over and stared at the ice fire swan. Although this was a rare beast, they believed that the two of them could suppress it together. Today, this kid would not be able to escape. Although the situation was critical, Lin Xian did not care. With his current strength, he could fight against a late-stage Holy King. Although there were two of them, now his identity was different. Now, he also had the power to control beasts. And he had several powerful beasts in his hands, so naturally he was not afraid. More importantly, he had already sensed it. Elder Bai was here. At this time, there was a war between heaven and earth. "All of you, stop." Then, a few powerful figures descended. Someone was here. Were they this kid's helpers? The surrounding people who were watching also exclaimed in surprise. The people from Purple Spirit Grotto Heaven also snorted coldly and turned to look. When they saw Elder Bai, they frowned. "Elder Bai, what is the meaning of this? Are you going to interfere in this matter?" Elder Bai said that you can't kill this young Master Qing. He is my guest. Guest? The two elders from Purple Spirit Grotto Heaven snorted coldly. "He killed our Purple Spirit geniuses and many experts. More importantly, he killed one of our elders. You said we can't kill him? What a joke." The moment he said that, Elder Bai's face changed. Heavens, it had only been half a day, and this kid had already done something so shocking. Damn it. He looked at Lin Xian and asked with a frown, "Young master, what is going on?" Lin Xian stood with his hands behind his back and said coldly, "They are from Purple Spirit Grotto Heaven. They wanted to steal my things, so I naturally had to teach them a lesson. But I didn't expect them to send their underlings to kill me. Since that's the case, I naturally did it. Originally, the younger generation was fighting for the limelight, but their elder was shameless and wanted to attack me. I could only summon my demonic beast and kill him. It was that simple." "Elder Bai, did you hear that? This kid is too arrogant. Are you still going to protect him?" Elder Bai's face was ugly. He said, "Young master, why don't you apologize to Purple Spirit Grotto Heaven, and then I will help you think of a solution." "Apologize? What a joke. Why do I need to apologize to them? If they are unhappy, then fight." Lin Xian snorted coldly. Chapter 46:02. Also, Elder Bai, do you want to help him or me? Think carefully. If you help them, don't blame me for being rude. Also, what I promised you earlier on doesn't count. Hearing this, the faces of those from White Cloud Grotto changed. Elderbai's face darkened as well. To be honest, no young man had ever dared to speak to him in such a manner. If it were in the past, he would have slapped the other party to death. But no, he still needed the other party. Elderby took in a deep breath. Seemed like he had to protect the other party first. Then he turned to those from Xylan Grotto and said, "Guys, I'll protect this young man. If there's anything else, we can talk about it later. But not today." His thoughts were simple. After his granddaughter, Bai Ling, was rescued, he naturally wouldn't care about Lin Xian's life or death. Lin Xian knew what the other party was thinking. However, he didn't care. After all, this wasn't the only plan he had. He stood there with his hands behind his back and waited quietly. The faces of those from Xylan Grotto changed. What? They hadn't expected White Cloud Grotto to make such a decision. "Are you sure?" The two elders stared at Elder Bai with a cold expression. Elder Bai took in a deep breath and said to those beside him, "Escort the young man and leave first. Leave this to me." At the back, the Saint King of White Cloud Grotto walked over and said, "Young man, please." Lin Xian looked at those from Xylan Grotto and said coldly, "You guys are lucky. On account of White Cloud Grotto, yours truly will let you guys off today. The next time you see me, don't blame me for striking." With that, he snorted coldly and left in big strides. Those from Xylan Grotto were about to go crazy. They wanted to strike, but they were stopped by Elder Bai. "Guys, please listen to me." Elder Bai-yin left and went up. The surrounding people were stunned. They couldn't believe it. Someone could kill the elders of White Cloud Grotto and leave so calmly. Just who was this guy? To think that the people of White Cloud Grotto would protect him with all their might. All of a sudden, everyone started guessing about Lin Xian's identity. Elder Bai-yun explained he was also willing to pay some resources as compensation. And he said that he only needed 3 days. After 3 days, he would no longer care about this brat. At that time, when the Violet Spirit Grotto Heaven made their move, he would no longer care. The people from Xylan Grotto Heaven gritted their teeth and said, "Fine, Elder Bai, I'll give you face. 3 days later, we will personally kill this brat." The people of Xylan Grotto Heaven left, and the news spread out. In an instant, the entire city was in an uproar. Naturally, the people from the other Grotto Heavens also received this news. They were greatly shocked and began to investigate Lin Xian's identity. On the other side, Elder Bai heaved a sigh of relief. His expression turned cold. This time, he had paid a lot of treasures in exchange for 3 days of time. That damned fellow better be able to save his granddaughter. Otherwise, he would definitely tear that fellow into pieces. When they returned to the residence, Elder Bai asked if that fellow had gone out again. The two Saint Kings walked over and asked. No, they had been quietly waiting since they came back. Elder Bai nodded. "That's good. Keep an eye on him and don't let him go out and cause trouble again." He snorted coldly. How could this genius of the Imperial Beast family be more arrogant than the geniuses of the Grotto Heavens? But thinking about it, the other party had many beasts protecting him. This was equivalent to having many experts protecting him. How could he not be arrogant? On this day, Elder Bai was very nervous. He was afraid that something would happen to Lin Xian again. But fortunately, it was over peacefully. When the sun rose, he quickly arrived in front of Lin Xian's palace. He said, "Young master, are you done?" Lin Yuxuan opened the door with a cold expression. "Calling me so early in the morning? You're annoying me." Elder Bai gritted his teeth and laughed dryly. "Young master, please forgive me. After this matter is over, I will compensate you well." "There's no need for compensation, but you have to remember what you promised me. Let's go." With that, Lin Xian waved his hand, and walked up. Elder Bai and the other experts of the grotto heavens followed him. The group rose into the air and left Moonshine City. The beasts outside the city were still there. The demon general from before, Shining, flew over and asked coldly, "How is it? Are you ready? 1,000,000 dragon marrow. Hurry up and bring it over." Elder Bai gritted his teeth and looked at Lin Xian. Lin Xian said, "Leave it to me." He walked forward. "I want to see your king." The demon general snorted. "Who are you?" Lin Xian released a terrifying aura. His gaze pierced through heaven and earth. A terrifying soul suppression appeared. The surrounding beasts were all frightened. The demon general was the same. He took a few steps back. Lin Xian smiled. "Now, am I qualified to see him?" Shining said, "Follow me." Then he rose into the air and turned to Lin Xian. "Only you can come. Others are not allowed to come. Otherwise, don't blame us for taking action." Lin Xian looked at Elder Bai and the others. "Go back to the city and wait." With that, he left with Shining. Elder Bai and the others could only return to Moonshine City and wait anxiously. On the other side, Lin Xian came to the mountain. There was a huge creature in front of him. It was Ling Long. However, at this moment, he was extremely respectful. Shun Ying also landed respectfully and knelt on one knee on the ground. "Greetings, Master." An old man in front turned around and said with a smile, "Lin Gongzi, how is it?" The old man was Xiao Mu. This was all part of their plan. Lin Xian asked, "Where is that person?" Xiao Mu said, "Still locked up." Lin Xian nodded. Everything was going according to the plan. After staying for a while, he returned and left. He returned to Moonshine City. Seeing Lin Xian return, Elder Bai and the others went up to greet him. "Master, how is it? What happened? Did Ling or not come back?" They saw that only Lin Xian had returned. Bai Ling did not come back at all. Elder Bai's face darkened, and a cold light bloomed in his eyes. He stared at Lin Xian. Lin Xian said indifferently, "I went to see your granddaughter. She is still alive." After saying that, he waved his hand, and a light appeared. There was an illusion of Bai Ling in it. "Ling, and Elder Bai exclaimed when they saw this scene. Then they asked, "Why didn't you save her?" Lin Xian said, "You can't blame me. If you want to blame someone, blame your granddaughter. She actually hurt that little cat. How could that evil beast do as he wished? I used my identity as a beast tamer family to intimidate them." Ling Long said, "Although I cannot kill your granddaughter, I must punish her. He will temporarily seal her for a month. After a month, he will release her. But don't worry, I have already talked to him. It will only be a seal, so you will not hurt your granddaughter." Seal. Elder Bai furrowed his brows tightly. Why did he feel that something was amiss? He showed a doubtful look. Lin Xian sneered. "Why? Don't you believe me? If you don't believe me, then I will leave. But after a month without me, I am afraid your granddaughter will not be able to come back." Chapter 46:03. Elder Bai's pupils constricted. Then he forced a smile. "How could that be? Thank you, young master. Why don't you stay here for a month? I'll definitely treat you well. Why don't you come to my white cloud grotto heaven for a while?" Lin Xian said, "No, I'll stay in Moonshine City first. But you can go to the grotto heaven to find some cultivation resources for me. Recently, I feel like I'm about to break through." Lin Xian waved his hand. He wouldn't be polite to him. Damn it. Elder Bai cursed in his heart. But he really couldn't do anything to him for a month. However, there was one more thing that worried him. That was the Purple Spirit Grotto Heaven. Previously, he thought that his granddaughter would return the next day. He didn't expect that there was still a month. Then he couldn't fulfill his promise to them. He said, "Young master, you offended the purple spirit grotto heaven. I'm afraid they won't let it go. So it's very dangerous for you to stay here." Lin Xian said, "So you don't intend to protect me?" Elder Bai was about to vomit blood. "Is this guy going to rely on me?" He said, "Although I'm also an elder of the grotto heaven, I can't represent the entire grotto heaven. I can only mobilize a small number of experts. This time, you offended the entire purple spirit grotto heaven. If they really want to attack, I can't stop them." Lin Xian said, "It's okay. You can stop as many as you can. Leave the rest to me." Lin Xian naturally didn't believe that they would help him with all their might. What he wanted to do was to make the two grotto heavens hostile to each other. Then it would be easy for him to make a move. Hence, he decided to stay here for the time being. He found a residence for himself and stayed there. Then he called Lone Moon back. At the same time, Xiao Mu came back secretly. He was also worried about Lin Xian. With such a terrifying beast tamer like Xiao Mu, Lin Xian wasn't worried at all. 3 days passed quickly. On this day, the purple spirit grotto heaven made a comeback. They were murderous and had many experts. Because they knew that Lin Xian could control beasts, the entire Moonshine City was shocked. Countless people were shocked. What happened? The violet spirit grotto heaven did not intend to let the matter rest. Did that guy not leave yet? Of course. They knew that Lin Xian had a battle with the Xiling Wonderland a few days ago. In their opinion, anyone smart enough would definitely leave, never to return again. However, he didn't expect Lin Xian to still be walking around here. He followed him to take a look. These people soared into the air and followed behind one another. Soon, they arrived in front of a mansion. "Brat, come out and accept your death." The people from the Xiling Grotto heaven stood above the 9 heavens and looked down like supreme gods and devils. Below, the mansion was extremely quiet. There was no response at all. "Damn it, go down and take him down." As his voice fell, the surrounding Saint Kings attacked together. Monstrous laws swept downwards. Naturally, they knew that Lin Xian was a beastmaster. As such, they didn't dare to act rashly and chose to attack from afar. The terrifying power covered the sky and covered the earth as it rushed toward the mansion below. Violent vibrations rang out as terrifying energy swept out in all directions. The people in the distance were terrified. With such an attack, the people inside would definitely die. Whong! Crack! Crack! However, at this moment, a terrifying frost swept out from the mansion below. It froze all the laws of magic and formed a world of ice and frost. What a terrifying frost! It could freeze everything. This young man was really something. The people watching the battle were discussing. The people from the Xiling Grotto heaven looked gloomy. This time, an elder came in person. He held a battle sword in his hand and swept across the land. He shattered all the frost and arrived in the courtyard. However, as soon as he arrived, endless vines appeared around him and formed a cage enchantment to trap him. Damn it! Endless sword light burst out from his body and attacked in all directions. The terrifying sword energy slashed the vines and made a loud noise. However, the vines didn't break at all. Instead, they wrapped around him like chains. It didn't take long for him to be sealed. Damn it! The people from the Xiling Grotto heaven were shocked. How terrifying! They didn't expect this guy to have so many terrifying beasts. Damn it! In the sky, a middle-aged man leading the Xiling Grotto heaven shouted coldly, "Go down and save him." 2 elders rushed down. They were 2 late-stage Saint King elders. After they arrived, they attacked fiercely. One of them shot out a purple lightning that turned into a divine thunder and rushed down. In an instant, it pierced through the vines. The other person condensed a monstrous sea of fire. The purple flames turned into a phoenix and descended from the sky. In an instant, The vines in the sky were burned to ashes. The elder who was sealed also quickly retreated. When the people around saw this scene, they discussed. As expected of the Xiling Grotto heaven, there were so many experts. No matter how strong that kid was, he probably couldn't withstand the attack of a grotto heaven. As expected, the three elders stood below and looked around coldly. The laws on their bodies burst out together. The ground below cracked, and a huge vine surrounded them to resist. At the same time, the power of ice and fire flew out. The two were in a stalemate and were evenly matched. At this moment, a dark shadow appeared in the sky and streaked across. Suddenly, the heads of the two elders flew up. Blood dyed the sky red. Countless people were shocked. What kind of method was this? It was too strong. In the void, a dark bat appeared. It had the wings of a bat, the body of a human, and a fong with a cold aura. It directly devoured the blood of the elders. This was also a late-stage Saint King beast. It was the king of assassination. It was extremely strong. Damn it, the two elders shouted angrily. Their bodies cracked and turned into a bloody mist before they escaped. The people watching the battle were shocked. It was too terrifying. In just an instant, two elders were seriously injured. As for the person below, he didn't even come out. It was really unbelievable. The people of the Xiling Grotto heaven looked terrible. The middle-aged man who led the group walked down and said coldly, "Who exactly are you?" They naturally knew about beast tamers, but how could a young beast tamer be so powerful? In the void, Elder Bai was also shocked. He was also here. How could he not be here for such a big event? However, he didn't expect that he didn't have to do anything. Lin Xian's strength was completely beyond his imagination. It seemed like he had to reevaluate. Besides him, there were other experts from the other grotto heavens around. Their eyes were shining. If such a top genius could become their friend, he could help them control many powerful beasts. Thinking of this, the eyes of many from the grotto heavens lit up. The eyes of those from the Xiling Grotto heaven were filled with endless murderous intent. No, such a genius had become their enemy. They had to get rid of him quickly. Chapter 4604. A figure walked out from the palace below. Lin Xian looked around and snorted. "It's you guys again. I spared you guys because of White Cloud Grotto. I didn't expect you guys to be so reckless. Since that's the case, there's no need for you guys to leave. Damn brat, you're finally out." The people from Xiling Grotto saw Lin Xian. They gritted their teeth. "Kill." They rushed down quickly. Lin Xian sneered. "Since you guys don't want to die, come at me." He used his eye technique. Immediately, the countless demonic beasts around him flew upwards. A huge battle broke out. The people from Xiling Grotto were extremely strong. However, Lin Xian had more beasts, one after another. Huge figures with terrifying auras danced in the sky. The battle was intense. Lin Xian wasn't in any danger at all. When the people around saw this, they were all stunned. This young man was truly extraordinary. The number of demonic beasts he could control was simply too many. How strong was his soul power? The people from Xiling Grotto gritted their teeth. Damn it, they realized that they couldn't do anything to him. At this moment, the void tore apart as a gigantic hand grabbed down like a god of war, causing the sky to shatter. The gigantic hand instantly sent many of the beasts flying before grabbing at Lin Xian. Lin Xian's body flashed, and he quickly dodged. In the next moment, his face darkened. A peak sage king. The others were also shocked. They didn't expect that not only a peak sage king elder was here, but a peak sage king elder was here too. After the attack, an old man walked down from the sky. His powerful aura suppressed the surroundings. Brat, no matter how strong you are, can you fight against me? Be obedient and surrender. The people from Xiling Grotto laughed proudly. The others looked terrible. Lin Xian stood with his hands behind his back. He said indifferently, Elder Bai, you've been watching for so long. Aren't you going to attack? In the void, Elder Bai was startled. He then walked out of the void. At this moment, his expression was incomparably serious. The people from Violet's Spirit Grotto Heaven looked over and said, Elder Bai, we already gave you a lot of face before. I promised you that I would give him 3 days. Now that 3 days have passed, do you still want to attack? Are you sure you want to be enemies with my Xiling Grotto Heaven? The expert at the peak of the Saint King stage also looked over. Elder Bai's eyelids twitched. He was only a late-stage Saint King, facing a powerful existence at the peak of the Saint King stage. He also felt endless pressure. For a moment, he was stunned. Kid, without the White Cloud Grotto, let's see who can protect you. Those from Xiling Grotto Heaven gritted their teeth. They all walked up and knelt down obediently to accept their deaths. I will break all the bones in your body and let you know what it means to wish you were dead. The people watching from afar also shook their heads and sighed. It was such a pity that such a genius beast taming was lost. Indeed, no matter how strong he was no match for a peak stage Saint King. In the face of such a frightening scene, Lin Xian laughed heartily. Do you really think that you can contend against me? With just a few of you? Is a peak stage Saint King very powerful? You are just SOSO in front of me. You don't have the right to be arrogant. Looks like you won't give up until you see the coffin. The elder shook his head and attacked decisively. This attack was extremely terrifying. It was as if he had used the law to its peak. The people around felt immense pressure and were all pushed back. Some people were directly injured. Lin Xian's face was also cold. However, at this moment, Xiao Mu in the palace made his move. He used the hallucinatory melody. A demonic beast flew out. Boom! A flaming figure flew past and turned into lightning, attacking the palm. In the next moment, an earth-shattering sound was heard. The palm split open, and monstrous flames enveloped the expert. The expert was terrified. Who was it? With a roar, he punched out again. The fist shadow, with terrifying power, blocked the flames. The terrifying flames danced and fell in all directions. Suddenly, the experts from Xiling Grotto Heaven screamed in pain. Quite a number of people were instantly burned to ashes. Among them, 2 of the elders had actually fallen. This scene scared everyone out of their wits. What kind of flames were these? How could they be so terrifying? Damn it, this was the power of a peak stage Saint King. They really did not expect Lin Xian to be able to counterattack in such a situation. He even severely injured Xiling Grotto Heaven. The people from Xiling Grotto Heaven were also pale as they quickly retreated to the back. The peak stage Saint King gritted his teeth. What was that? His gaze pierced through heaven and earth. In the next moment, his pupils shrank. He saw a figure covered in flames floating in the void. Vermilion bird, he exclaimed. It was a 3-eyed vermilion bird. There was a vertical eye in the middle of the vermilion bird's brows. It carried an extremely terrifying law of fire. Why, you still want to kill me now? I have said that you don't have the right to be arrogant in front of me. Lin Xian stood on the back of the vermilion bird and sneered. How could this be? This guy could control a peak stage Saint King? What level had he reached? The peak stage Saint King from Xiling Grotto Heaven had an extremely ugly expression. This flame was a fatal threat to him. The others did not dare to step forward. Who exactly are you? Lin Xian said arrogantly with his hands behind his back. I have said that I am from the Green Clan, and I have already joined the Myriad Transformation sect. Not only did you offend a top beast taming family, but you also offended the Myriad Transformation sect. What? Myriad Transformation sect? Many people were puzzled. However, the faces of the Grotto Heaven members changed drastically. They had heard that this sect was extremely terrifying. It was not in their region, but on this continent. It was a sect on the same level as the Ethereal Peak. It was even more powerful than the Ethereal Peak. They did not expect this young man to have such a shocking background. Elderby was extremely regretful. He was extremely regretful now. If he had taken action earlier, he could have improved the relationship between both parties. However, he was now afraid of offending the other party. Elder Zhang, what should we do? The people from Xiling Grotto Heaven asked. The peak stage Saint King frowned. This was not a small matter. Let's go back and discuss it with the other Saint Kings. He could not make up his mind. These people turned around and prepared to leave. Lin Xian laughed. What? You think you can come and go as you please? Who do you think I am? His voice was like thunder, causing the people from Xiling Grotto Heaven to stop in their tracks. Their faces turned ugly. The peak stage Saint King turned around and gritted his teeth. Then, what do you want? What do I want? So many of you from the older generation came to kill me. If I did not have the strength, I would have died long ago. Now, what do you think I want? Do you think I am easy to bully? Do you want me to inform my family or ask the experts from the Myriad Transformation sect to come here and reason with you? The people from Xiling Grotto Heaven's faces changed. No matter which one it was, they could not afford to offend them. Therefore, the leading Saint King gritted his teeth and said, "Calm down. We did not know your identity before. Moreover, you have killed many of our people. Why don't we stop here?" Impossible. Lin Xian rejected directly. Your people challenged me first. If you don't give me a satisfactory result today, don't blame me for being rude. Chapter 46:05. Then what do you want? The people from Xiling Grotto Heaven were no longer as arrogant as before. It was simple. Do you want to kill yourselves, or do you want me to send you to hell? What? The people from Xiling Grotto Heaven were shocked. This guy really wanted to kill them. Don't go overboard. Although your identity is extraordinary, you're alone here. If you're really anxious, we'll kill you. Is that so? You still want to kill me? Looks like I can't let you live any longer. Lin Xian waved his hand. Immediately, the three-eyed vermilion bird flew over. The ice fire swan, the umber bat, and the other demonic beasts also rushed over. You're courting death. The peak elders from Xiling Grotto Heaven roared and attacked. They were really angry. So, what if the other party had a high status? This was their territory. In an instant, a great battle broke out. The others retreated far away to watch the battle. They couldn't believe that Lin Xian was so strong. They didn't know that Lin Xian hated the 6 Grotto Heavens. These people treated their companions as battle servants. They even had something to do with the human world. How could Lin Xian let these people go? The battle was very intense. Demonic beasts that blotted out the sky and covered the earth rushed over. Even the elders who were at the pinnacle felt a sense of crisis. However, at this moment, the void cracked open. 2 people rushed towards Lin Xian. Not good. When the crowd saw this, they exclaimed. They didn't expect Xiling Grotto Heaven to have a space scroll. The sudden appearance of this young man was definitely dangerous. The 2 sneered. Die, kid. One of them held a long saber, while the other clenched a fist and rushed over. Lin Xian didn't dodge at all. He met the 2 of them head-on. With one strike, an earth-shattering sound rang out. The 2 of them were stunned. Lin Xian turned around and sneered. How dare a mere mid-stage Saint King assassinate me? As he spoke, he struck out. One of his palms turned into lightning, while the other turned into a sword light. The 2 of them were beaten into a bloody mist. A crazy voice rang out. The 2 of them were instantly destroyed. At the same time, Lin Xian transmitted his voice to send another peak demonic saint to end the battle quickly. Inside the palace, Xiao Mu attacked again. A demonic beast at the pinnacle joined the battle. Above the 9 heavens, the peak elder of Xiling Grotto Heaven roared, "Get lost! Retreat! Break out of the encirclement!" He was truly stunned. He could still fight against a 3-eyed vermilion bird, but if another demonic beast of the same level were to appear, he really wouldn't be able to stop it. He turned around and fled. However, in the next instant, half of his body turned into a bloody mist. He was so scared that his scalp went numb. It was a strange golden fish. The scales on its body were very sharp. In an instant, his body was cut open. When the surrounding people saw that even the peak elders were no match for him, they were so frightened that they hurriedly fled. The Ice King Hong, who shot out a sky full of frost, forming a barrier. The 2 peak demonic beasts killed the peak elder until his soul was completely destroyed. The other people from the Violet Spirit Grotto were terrified. They knelt in the air. "We were wrong. Please spare our lives. We won't dare to go against you anymore." However, it was useless. Those demonic beasts burned everyone to ashes. In the blink of an eye, all the strong people from the Violet Spirit Grotto were dead. The surrounding onlookers were dumbfounded. The people from the other grotto heavens also felt their scalps go numb. What kind of technique was this? It was simply too incredible. Were all beast tamers this terrifying? Lin Xian sneered. "There is only one outcome for those who dare to go against me." He waved his hand, and the demonic beasts in the sky all flew back into his demonic beast pouch. At the same time, he waved his sleeve, forming a terrifying storm that blew away all the bloody mist in the sky. The sky was bright again. He turned around and was about to go in. The other people were amazed. He was simply a young god. At this moment, Elder Bai, who was in the air, came back to his senses. He quickly flew forward and landed in the courtyard. He shouted, "Sir, please wait." He had to rope in such a top-notch genius. Lin Xian stopped in his tracks. He turned around and looked at Elder Bai, revealing a cold smile. Elder Bai smiled and said, "Sir, why don't you come to my place for a chat? I will treat you well." Lin Xian said coldly, "Scram." The smile on Elder Bai's face froze. He could not believe that Lin Xian would treat him like this. Lin Xian said, "Why, now you want to treat me? Why didn't you protect me when I was being chased by the people from the Violet Spirit Grotto? I saved your granddaughter's life. Are you going to repay me like this? Scram and reflect on yourself. Think it through. Goodbye." After speaking, Lin Xian turned around and ignored Elder Bai, walking straight in. Elder Bai stopped in the courtyard. His face was extremely ugly. No one had ever dared to reprimand him, let alone a young man. He felt as if he had been slapped in the face, especially when there were countless onlookers looking at him and talking about him. He felt these people's gazes fall on his back. Damn it! He had lost all his face, but he did not dare to make a move. Even a peak Saint King had fallen, let alone him. In the next moment, he tore open the void and hurriedly escaped. Countless people were in an uproar. They also left one after another. This matter quickly spread throughout the Moonlight City and spread in all directions. Soon, countless people knew that a terrifying genius had arrived in the Moonlight City. His name was Sir Qing. He could control super beasts and sweep through everything. Go back. The experts from the other grotto heavens also went back to report. They felt that they had to be one step ahead and establish a good relationship with him. In Elder Bai's residence, the experts from the grotto heavens had returned. They said, "Old Zhang, what should we do? Should we take action against that kid?" Elder Bai sneered. "Do you want to die? If you want to die, don't drag me down." Didn't you see what happened to the Violet Spirit Grotto? Who dares to be disrespectful to me? Don't blame me for slapping you to death. Hurry up and contact the Grotto Heavens. Bring back all the treasures and resources. Tomorrow, I will personally apologize. The people from the other Grotto Heavens were also taking action. They had collected many treasures and were ready to pay a visit. On the other side, the people from the Xylan Grotto Heaven were clenching their teeth. Damn it, one of their peak elders and many of their late-stage elders had fallen there. It was really hard for them to imagine. When the Grotto Heaven heard the news, they gritted their teeth and said, "Humph, what kind of beast tamer clan is it? No matter how powerful they are. So what? Why don't we ask the Grand Elder to come out and kill them directly? The Grand Elder is a supreme saint. He can definitely sweep through everything, no matter how strong the other party is. So what?" However, the elders shook their heads. Absolutely not. The other party is backed by a top beast tamer clan and the Myriad Transformation Gate, which also has a supreme saint. If we really angered them and let them take away thousands of beasts, the Xylan Grotto Heaven would be in danger of being destroyed. Damn it. The people from the Xylan Grotto Heaven were clenching their teeth. Chapter 46:06. At this moment, the older generation spoke again, trying to find a way to resolve the grudge. The young disciples of Xylan Grotto Heaven were in disbelief. Someone had killed their elders and geniuses, and they still had to beg for mercy. What a joke! When had they ever been so aggrieved? Moonshine City was very lively at this moment. Everyone was talking about what had happened a few days ago. Lin Xian had controlled thousands of demonic beasts, killed many experts of Xylan Grotto Heaven, and even told the elders of Baiyun Grotto Heaven to get lost. It had become a legend, and countless young geniuses were envious and were discussing it. Many people even went outside Lin Xian's mansion. Of course, they didn't dare to get close and could only wander around. Elder Bai hadn't closed his eyes for the past few days. At his level, it wouldn't be a problem for him to not rest for 10 years. However, his mood today was indeed very perturbed and nervous. Finally, there was a flash of light in front of him, and a figure landed in front of him. "How is it?" Elder Bai asked. The few sage kings said, "Elder, don't worry, we've brought the things." As they spoke, they took out a few storage rings. After Elder Bai took them, he scanned them with his soul spirit and then heaved a sigh of relief. The next moment, the corners of his mouth curled up into a smile. Ever since he was reprimanded by Lin Xian, he immediately contacted the Grotto Heaven and prepared a large number of cultivation resources. Now that they were all in these 3 storage rings, he felt very satisfied and thought that this should be able to move the other party. "Come, follow me." Elder Bai took in a deep breath and strode forward. There were many people behind him, including mid-stage sage kings and 8 early-stage sage kings. The group of people quickly flew on the clouds towards Lin Xian's mansion. Lin Xian's mansion. Countless people were still wandering around when they suddenly felt a terrifying aura pressing down on them. They all looked up. The next moment, they saw more than 10 figures descending. Someone exclaimed, "Isn't that Elder Bai? Is he here for revenge again?" They were extremely nervous, and they looked on curiously. After Elder Bai and his group came down, they didn't dare to land directly in the courtyard, but outside the mansion. Elder Bai cleared his throat and said in a clear voice, "I, Bai Yuan, would like to see young Master Qing." His voice went in, but there was no response. Elder Bai Zhang's expression changed. He shouted again, but no one responded to him. The people behind asked, "Elder, what should we do?" Elder Bai thought for a moment, then gritted her teeth and said, "We'll wait here." He had already missed an opportunity by not helping the other party previously. If he were to leave this time around, the misunderstanding between the two of them would be irreparable. So today, no matter what, he had to go in, even if he had to wait for 3 days and 3 nights. The surrounding people were shocked. They didn't expect that the grand elder of the Dantian sect would be so respectful. Moreover, they couldn't even see his face. It was truly unbelievable. Just as they were discussing in surprise, another stream of light streaked across the sky, followed by another dozen or so figures. Fei Jiuqian of the Flying Feather Grotto Heaven. Request an audience with the young master. After these people landed, the leader of the group was a middle-aged man, flying 9 heavens, flying feather paradise. The surrounding people were stunned. Immediately, some people were surprised. This should be another elder. Not only that, I know him. He's very famous. They were extremely terrifying existences in the late stage of the Saint King realm. It was said that they were very close to the peak stage of the Saint King realm. I didn't expect him to come, and he's so respectful. The crowd was in an uproar. This flying 9 heaven status was even higher than Elderbai's. They should be able to go in this time, right? However, to everyone's surprise, there was still no response from inside. Flying 9 heavens was also waiting outside with his men. Flying 9 heavens' gaze was calm, and he wasn't in a hurry. The experts behind him looked gloomy. Damn it, they came this time, but the other party didn't give them any face. It really made them angry. At this moment, another loud laughter was heard. Between heaven and earth, the chi of righteousness reverberated. An elder descended from the sky, and a powerful holy aura suppressed the surroundings. There were 5 figures following behind him. I'm Hao Yuanshan, and I'm here to see young Master Qing. His loud voice sounded again. The surrounding people were stunned. Hao Yuanshan was a core elder of the Haoran Grotto Heaven, and he had reached the peak of the Sage King realm. Such a person had come personally. Everyone felt that it was unreal. They should be able to go in now, right? However, to everyone's surprise, there was still no response. Even Hao Yuanshan could only wait outside. This time, the people of the Flying Feather Grotto Heaven were extremely shocked. Previously, they were very angry, but now it seemed that they might have thought too much. The other party didn't even care about the peak of the Sage King realm, let alone them. Not long after, another 2 forces came. The people of the Qianshan Grotto Heaven and Qingqiu Grotto Heaven were here, and the leaders were 2 peak of the Sage King realm, the elders of the 5 Grotto Heaven, standing outside the mansion. The scene was extremely shocking. The news spread instantly, and after the people of the Moonlight City knew about it, they all came to watch. Of course, they only dared to watch from afar, and some even used their souls to watch. Even so, the scene was shocking enough. The entire Moonlight City was discussing this. This guy was too arrogant. He really didn't care about the people of the 5 Grotto Heaven. The elders of the 5 Grotto Heaven looked a little cold. They knew that the other party was powerful, so they came personally. Logically speaking, the other party should have come out to welcome them, but they didn't expect him to not even have the intention to see them. Humph, he's really arrogant. Does he really think he's a god? At this moment, the peak elder of the Qianshan Grotto Heaven snorted. As he spoke, a strong flame appeared on his body. It was Elder Yanhua. He was from the Sage Heaven's old ancestor. I think we should join forces and go in. Elder Yen was said coldly. The others took a deep breath and were about to move. At this moment, someone came from afar. It was the people of the Purple Spirit Grotto Heaven. Countless people were surprised. What were the people of the Purple Spirit Grotto Heaven doing? Were they here for revenge again? After the people of the Purple Spirit Grotto Heaven arrived, they were stunned to see the people of the 5 Grotto Heaven. But in the next moment, they said loudly, "The Purple Spirit Grotto Heaven wishes to see the young master. We hope that the young master can forgive us for offending you previously. We are here to resolve this grudge." The Purple Spirit Grotto Heaven wanted to resolve this grudge personally. That was unbelievable. Everyone in the Moonlight City was stunned. The Grotto Heaven actually lowered their heads. This was something that happened once in 1,000 years. In the palace, Lone Moon looked at the scene outside, then turned around and asked, "Young master, what do you plan to do?" Lin Xian opened his eyes and asked indifferently, "Is everyone here?" Guyu said, "The people of the Sixth Grotto Heaven are all here and waiting outside." Oh, Lin Xian stood up and smiled. "The people of the Purple Spirit Grotto Heaven are here too?" Guyu nodded. Lin Xian waved his hand and said, "Kill them." Chapter 46:07. Lone Moon was stunned. He did not expect Lin Xian to be so domineering. To be honest, he thought that there was a grudge between Lin Xian and the Six Grotto Heavens. He thought that Lin Xian wanted to suppress them, but now it seemed that was not the case. The grudge between the two parties was deeper than he thought. "Don't worry, young master, let me handle this." Xiao Mu also stood up and waved his hand. The three-eyed vermilion bird flew into the sky and shot out a divine fire from its third eye. Outside the mansion, those people were still waiting, and many of them were already impatient. Elder Yan, whose expression was cold. He said, "Are you still going to wait? I'm going to go in directly." Just as he was about to walk forward, a divine flame flew out of the mansion. It flew past Elder Yan, who like a bolt of lightning. Elder Yan, who felt the aura of the fire, and his hair stood on end. He was so shocked that he almost knelt on the ground. The divine fire did not attack him. Instead, it flew past him and hit a figure behind him. Suddenly, the figure let out a crazy roar. The space between his eyebrows was pierced in an instant, and his soul was burned to ashes. The people from the other Grotto Heavens were shocked and stepped back. When they looked over, their faces turned ugly. They saw that the elder from Xiling Grotto Heaven had fallen to the ground and was no longer breathing. Was he dead? He was killed in one move. These people's scalps went numb. That divine fire was really too powerful. Someone said, "I know. It should be the three-eyed vermilion bird that shot out the strongest bloodline fire." This person's methods were beyond imagination. The elders from the Grotto Heavens looked very serious. Those who were dissatisfied immediately stopped talking. Even Elder Yenho was trembling and breaking out in cold sweat. What a joke. The other party killed them like stepping on ants. They did not dare to be presumptuous. These people were uneasy. Those who were further away were even more shocked. Such powerful methods. He was like a god. At this moment, the door of the mansion opened, and Guyu walked out. "All right, you guys can come in." The elders of these paradise walked in cautiously. There were a total of 5 paradise because the Violet Spirit Paradise had already been destroyed. After entering, they walked into the palace and found Lin Xian sitting there with these demonic beasts beside him. At the same time, there was an old man beside him who was even more unfathomable. After greeting young Master Qing, the elders of the 5 great paradises bowed, one after another. Lin Xian looked at these people and smiled. "What business do you have here?" Howren Grotto Heaven's elder smiled and said, "Young Master, your actions just now were extremely valiant, and I admire you. We're here to see what kind of top geniuses you are. Also, we hope that you can become friends with us." "That's right." The people from the Flying Feather Cave and the Thousand Mountain Cave quickly nodded their heads. At this moment, Elder Bai walked up and said, "Young Master Qing, I was in the wrong previously. After thinking about it, I realized that I was really wrong. Such a thing would never happen again. I hope young master will give me a chance. Is that so?" Lin Xian nodded his head slightly. Elder Bai gritted his teeth and took out a storage ring and said, "I know young master is a beast tamer. These are some spirit fruits that I specially collected. They are all top-grade spirit fruits. They are extremely suitable for demonic beasts to consume. Lin Xian took a look at it and was extremely surprised. All right, I'll forgive you this once then. That's great. Thank you, young master. Elder Bai was overjoyed. If anyone outside saw this scene, they would definitely be dumbfounded. Was being forgiven by the other party worth being so happy about? However, Lin Xian's methods were simply too skillful. Even these elders were shocked and could not help but treat him with caution. At this moment, a lady from the Green Hill Grotto Heaven walked up and said with a smile, "Young master, our Green Hill Grotto Heaven would like to invite you over as a guest for a few days. Would you be willing to?" This lady was truly like a fairy from the 9 heavens. Countless people were stunned. Damn it, this Green Hill Grotto Heaven was too scheming. They sent out such a fairy. Young Master Qing might not be able to handle it. Their faces became extremely nervous. Lin Xian said with a smile, "Is that so? I'll have to think about it." The fairy from the Green Hill Grotto Heaven was stunned. She did not expect that the other party would not be affected at all. The people from the other Grotto Heavens also laughed. It was simply laughable to use such petty tricks in front of young master. However, they still hurried to invite him. The elder from the Haren Grotto Heaven said, "We would also like to invite young Master Qing. Young master, come to our White Cloud Grotto Heaven. We will definitely not disappoint you." Elder Bai quickly walked out. The 5 Grotto Heavens had all invited him. They almost got into a fight. Lin Xian said, "You're all so nice. You're making things difficult for me. Besides, I want to go out to the forest to catch some demonic beasts to cultivate. I don't have much time." "Don't worry about that." Elder Bai stood up and said, "Leave the matter of the demonic beasts to us. We'll suppress the demonic beasts that young master needs for him to cultivate. Flying Fish Grotto Heaven can do that too. There's no need to go through so much trouble. Our Green Hill Grotto Heaven has many demonic beasts. Will definitely satisfy you." The people from these Grotto Heavens were all extremely strong. Elder Bai was about to cry. One had to know that his granddaughter was still sealed. If Lin Xian left with the people from the other Grotto Heavens, if he didn't return in a month, his granddaughter would be in danger. Furthermore, if the people from the White Cloud Grotto Heaven knew that he had missed out on such a top-notch genius, they would probably kill him. Therefore, he gritted his teeth. As if he had made some sort of decision, he took off the storage ring on his hand and said, "Young master, I'm sorry. Young master, I obtained 5 Qilin fruits by chance. Now, I'm giving them to you. I hope that you'll accept them." As soon as these words came out, the people from the surrounding Grotto Heavens were shocked. Qilin fruits were good stuff. Just like the dragon marrow, they were extremely precious. Furthermore, the conditions for the Qilin fruits were even more troublesome. It required the place where the Qilin race's saint blood had dripped and all sorts of heaven and earth powers to form the Qilin fruit. They didn't expect Elder Bai to be so lucky to have obtained the Qilin fruits. However, this guy was really determined. He even took out such a peerless treasure. This kind of thing was very useful to Saint Kings. It could increase their strength. Now, it seemed that Elder Bai had really gone crazy. Lin Xian was also surprised. After receiving the Qilin fruits, he found that each of them was the size of a fist and crystal clear. There was also a blood-red glow on them, which was filled with power. Lin Xian was very satisfied. He smiled and said, "It must have been difficult for Elder Bai to obtain such a precious thing. It's such a pity to give it to me like this. If I get it, wouldn't I be unreasonable? I think it's better to forget it." Elder Bai's expression changed, and he quickly shook his head. "How can I use such a spiritual fruit of heaven and earth? Only a top-notch genius like you is worthy of using it. If you don't use it, it'll be a waste, and you won't be giving me face. Young master, you must accept it. It was as if he had turned into the most humble dust to set off Lin Xian's brilliance. The eyelids of the elders from the surrounding grotto heavens twitched, and their faces darkened. Damn, I didn't expect this old guy to be so shameless. Don't you feel guilty saying such words? Chapter 46:08. Even Lin Xian was surprised. Once these people became ruthless, even he was afraid of them. He said, "All right, since they are so sincere, I will keep the 5 Kirin fruits." Elderby saw this scene and smiled. "Young master, do you agree?" Lin Xian said, "It's not realistic to go to Cloud Grotto. Is there a Cloud Grotto residence in Moonshine City? I can go there." "Yes, there is." Elderby nodded. Moonshine City was also a huge city. Naturally, there were properties of the 6 great grotto heavens. Elderby was very happy. The other people of the grotto heavens were gnashing their teeth. It seemed that they had lost an opportunity. However, they would not give up. They would think of a way to snatch it from Cloud Grotto. The next day, Lin Xian and the others followed Elderby and left Cloud Grotto residence in Moonshine City. This residence was even more magnificent than Elderby's residence. There were many experts and saints inside. These people were in charge of managing the properties of Moonshine City. After Lin Xian arrived, Elderby personally came out to receive him. Even the Peak Sage King came out to welcome him. One could imagine how much face Lin Xian had. After Lin Xian arrived, he saw that there were indeed some demonic beasts inside. There were even many newly suppressed demonic beasts. Lin Xian controlled a few of them, and then let them guard the entire residence. The people from the White Cloud Wonderland were shocked. How could he control the terrifying demonic beast so easily? If they could get more help from him, they would definitely be able to help. If he could help them, they would not need any guards at all. These demonic beasts alone could protect everything. "Lin Gongzi, this way, please. This is your courtyard. We have specially prepared many demonic beasts for you. I hope you will be satisfied." Elderby brought Lin Xian and the others to a quiet courtyard. Lin Xian stayed there temporarily. There were artificial mountains and flowing water inside. There were also dozens of demonic beasts. In addition, there were many cultivation resources. It could be said that ordinary elders did not have such treatment. Only the top elders had such treatment. The fact that Lin Xian received such treatment as soon as he arrived was truly astonishing. Lin Xian also nodded his head in satisfaction. As expected of a heavenly grotto, he did not hesitate to accept these items. Lin Xian said to Lone Moon and Xiao Mu, "You two don't have to be polite. Just use it. If you run out, you can ask them for more." Even if the White Cloud Grotto Heaven was gone, there would be other grotto heavens. This time, he had to make good use of it. Xiao Mu and Guyu laughed and began to cultivate in seclusion. Lin Xian took out the great dragon sword spirit and began absorbing these resources. At the same time, he also absorbed them to increase the power of the great dragon sword spirit and 9 young divine body. In the next few days, Elder Bai and Elder Zhang came to deliver a lot of resources and demonic beasts every day, which stunned Xiao Mu and Guyu. They had never seen such treatment before. Lin Xian also said, "You've made me very satisfied. Don't worry, you can count on me. Also, I have to thank you properly. Your White Cloud Grotto should have stayed here for a long time, right? You should be planning to continue staying here." Elder Bai nodded his head. Lin Xian, "It seems that there is an array formation in the mansion, but I'm not very satisfied. I plan to control a top-level demonic beast for you and make it the guardian of your mansion." Really? One had to know that although they were in the same realm, some demonic beasts had magical powers that could protect everything. However, with the strength of the heavenly grotto, it was possible to capture such a demonic beast. But subduing it was impossible. It had to be a beast tamer, and an extremely powerful one at that. Now that Lin Xian had spoken, everyone was naturally happy. After Elderby sent the news back, the peak elders in the mansion were also very happy. They immediately held a banquet to entertain Lin Xian and the other two. During the banquet, they asked about the specific situation. Lin Xian said some things, and then said, "Now, help me collect some information." Lin Xian said that there were 5 demonic beasts. These 5 demonic beasts were all plant-type demonic beasts. They guarded the center of the mansion. Combined with the surroundings, they were definitely more terrifying than a peerless array formation. After hearing this, the peak elders beamed with joy and nodded one by one, indicating that they would do their best. In the next few days, these people began to go to the battlefield to subdue the demonic beasts. Soon, the 5 demonic beasts were subdued and returned to the mansion. The following matters were left to Lin Xian and the other two. They were going to subdue all these demonic beasts. With Xiaomu's powerful soul suppression, Lin Xian planted the seal of life and death. The whole process took more than a month. After all, this time, they were all extremely terrifying peak demonic beasts. During this time, Lin Xian went outside and brought Bai Ling back. The current Bai Ling was useless. Even without Bai Ling, the people of the White Cloud Grotto would not dare to be rude to him. As expected, when Elder Bai saw his granddaughter return, he was so emotional that he almost cried. He was even more grateful to Lin Xian. However, he did not know that the person they were grateful to was not their savior, but their avenger. After hearing this news, the people of the other grotto heavens were extremely envious. Damn it, back then, they were late. They did not expect the White Cloud Grotto to benefit. The aura that came from the White Cloud Grotto's mansion shocked them. One could imagine that the White Cloud Grotto had definitely obtained a great benefit. On the other side, the people of the Purple Spirit Grotto gritted their teeth. Back then, the 6 grotto heavens visited together. In the end, 5 grotto heavens went in, and only their grotto heavens did not. Instead, they were killed in a single move. This was more than just a slap to their faces. Damn it, this kid is too arrogant. Some of them gritted their teeth. What should they do? The peak elders were cold. Since they were already enemies, there was no need for them to use some forces. Someone frowned. Could it be that they had to contend with him? This kid has a lot of demonic beasts. Furthermore, he is currently in the White Cloud Grotto's mansion. I'm afraid the White Cloud Grotto will not leave him alone. Another elder said, then they should take some other actions, such as using some assassination power. Hearing this, some people frowned. Were they going to use the power of the mortal world? Even on the buried Emperor Star, it was impossible to use this kind of power openly. After all, no matter which world one was in, the mortal world was an extremely terrifying existence. Once they appeared, they would be suppressed by other forces. An elder said, I understand. I'll prepare for this matter. Also, don't spread the news. Only the few of us know. At this moment, the aura of the White Cloud Grotto's mansion changed greatly. Everyone felt a powerful force protecting them. This made them very happy. They quickly gave Lin Xian more resources. Chapter 46:09. Lin Xian and the rest continued to absorb and felt that they had reached a limit. He was ready to go out for a stroll and digest. Leaving Xiaomu in charge, he and Lone Moon left together with 4 young geniuses from the White Cloud Grotto Heaven. They were extremely respectful and worshipful of Lin Xian. One of them said, Lin Gongzi, do you know, there was a very famous place in Moonlight City. It was called Moonlight Lake. Especially at night, One could see the strange scene of the nine heavens capturing the moon while sitting on a boat on Moonlight Lake. Moonlight Lake was very famous. It was a place where one could see the nine heavens capturing the moon at night, because in ancient times there was once a peerless saint who comprehended the top divine power, nine heavens capturing the moon. Here. Later, it was said that in his later years, this peerless saint returned and finally passed away here. His soul and blood were all merged into Moonlight Lake, so every full moon there would be a strange scene of the nine heavens capturing the moon. Today was the night of the full moon. In the evening, Lin Xian and the rest set off. When they arrived at Moonlight Lake, they found that there were already many people there. Many people stopped by the lake, and there were several boats floating on the lake. There were figures sitting on them, emitting a terrifying aura. Obviously, these were Saint Kings who were comprehending here. With White Cloud Grotto Heaven strength, it was easy to get a boat. Lin Xian and the rest walked on and floated on the lake. At this time, the full moon in the sky appeared and reflected down. A strange scene appeared around them. The moonlight flickered, as if they had entered a magical fairyland. Many people exclaimed. Lin Xian's eyes lit up. What a terrifying phenomenon. He did feel an extraordinary great Tao. Was this the nine heavens capturing the moon? Gu Yu, who was beside him, was also stunned. As expected of a huge city, there was such a phenomenon. At this time, Lin Xian's pupils shrank. Not good. He slapped Gu Yu. He slapped Gu Yu away. Gu Yu didn't know why Lin Xian attacked him, but in the next moment, he understood. Because a beam of sword light had cut open his neck. If Lin Xian hadn't sent him flying, his head would have been lopped off by now. Lin Xian had saved his life with that photo. He was terrified. Who was it? With a cold shout, a terrifying aura burst forth from his body. A claw appeared from his demonic beast pouch and enveloped him, forming a powerful defense. At the same time, he looked around. On the other side, Lin Xian was also affected. He saved Gu Yu with a palm strike, and at the same time, he punched the sword light with a backhand, shattering it. However, another saber light slashed at his back and sent him flying. He turned around abruptly and felt a sharp pain in his back. It was as if his back was about to split apart. Fortunately, he had a divine body. The powerful nine, Yang divine body blocked the attack. However, his expression had already turned gloomy. Who was it that dared to assassinate him at this time? The four young men of the White Cloud Wonderland immediately rose to their feet upon seeing this. Who was it who dared to attack Lin Xian? Now, they knew how important Lin Xian was. If he was injured, they wouldn't be able to explain it to their superiors. Terrifying clouds rose up from the four of them as well, filling the area with them. Be careful. Let's go back. I'll send a distress signal to the elders. One of them steered the boat and was about to leave. The other took out a jade pendant and was about to crush it. However, in the next moment, the space between their eyebrows split open. 2 streaks of sword light destroyed their bodies and souls. Oh no! When the remaining 2 Grotto Heavens saw this, they turned around and wanted to escape. However, in the next moment, their hearts were pierced again. The 4 geniuses of the White Cloud Wonderland were killed in an instant. Blood splattered everywhere. The people around the Moonlight Lake were also stunned. Where did the white mist come from? Did someone attack here? Did they not know the rules? The Moonlight Lake was a place where everyone meditated. Especially when the moon was full, fighting was absolutely forbidden. Otherwise, they would be besieged by everyone. Was there anyone who didn't know what was good for them? One by one, powerful figures stood up and locked their gazes. However, in the next moment, they saw the clouds disperse and a boat came out. There were 4 figures on the boat. They were lying on the ground, and their blood had pierced through the sky. Someone was killed, and it was someone from the White Cloud Wonderland. In an instant, many people were terrified. Look, there were still people on the boat. Guyu was also stunned. What a terrifying killer, even more terrifying than his King of Shadows. At this moment, he summoned a giant black ape. One of its claws covered him, and the other hand swept in all directions. It formed a powerful storm. At the same time, he also summoned the dark bat to assassinate. However, after those people attacked, they disappeared without a trace. They seemed to have left. His face was gloomy. Such a terrifying assassination method made him think of a name. In the human world, finally, they couldn't help but attack. The young master seemed to have left. After a while, Guyu spoke. However, as soon as he finished speaking, a few more sword lights rushed over. Guyu hastily launched an attack. His black hand blocked the sword light, but the gigantic ape roared loudly. Guyu's neck was pierced. Blood kept falling like seawater. He roared to the sky and slapped down. The entire Moonlight Lake was turned into a huge sea. Countless people were shocked. They didn't expect that someone would dare to fight in the Moonlight Lake. Some Saint Kings shouted angrily. They rushed up. However, in an instant, a few sword lights split them apart. The other Saint King's pupils shrank. Oh no, retreat. It's a top killer. Those people didn't pay attention to them and left. It seemed that the two young people in the center of the lake had provoked a powerful being. They couldn't do anything about this battle. They could only speculate. The peerless sword lights were like lightning. They surrounded the sky and attacked Lin Xian and Guyu. At this moment, Guyu had already summoned 3 demonic beast saints. They kept attacking. Originally, he wanted to kill the enemy, but now he could only use the 3 demon beasts to protect him. Lin Xian's face was very serious. These killers were very terrifying. They focused on killing with one blow. Moreover, the other party's hiding method was very terrifying. Even with Guyu's powerful soul power, he couldn't catch it. Lin Xian's eyes shone with a golden light. He activated the genius superpower. His golden eyes were like divine lamps lighting up the void. Then he took a step forward and punched out with his golden fist. Boom! He punched out, shattering the void. A figure was pushed out like a shadow. There was blood dripping from it. It was obvious that this punch had injured him. But in an instant, the figure disappeared again. What a terrifying fist! Who was fighting? The people in the distance were shocked. There was a murderous aura in front of them. They couldn't see the strange scene of the 9 heavens grabbing the moon. They knew that it must be an extremely strong person with a terrifying physique. Chapter 46:10. Guyu was also shocked. He realized that Lin Xian hadn't used his true strength during the Mountain Sea Beast battles. This was because the other party's punch was much stronger than before. After the attack, 2 saber lights rushed over. Lin Xian fought back, but he realized that the expert sent out this time was actually a late-stage Sage King. The previous one was weaker, but these 2 saber lights were very strong. Lin Xian was forced to retreat. He snorted and didn't say anything. He took out the Great Destruction Spear and attacked. A terrifying demonic aura surged through the 9 heavens. The demonic aura danced, and the sound of a dragon echoed through the sky. A figure was instantly pierced through. That person's pupils constricted, and he shouted coldly. He slashed his saber at himself, cutting off his broken arm. He quickly fled. At the same time, a cold-killing intent rushed towards Lin Xian. At this moment, Lin Xian seemed to have turned into a god fiend. It was unknown how many experts there were in the world. Lin Xian was completely surrounded. At this moment, an even more terrifying aura exploded. Not good, Lin Xian exclaimed. He sensed danger and instantly entered the Great Sage Tower. In the next moment, The great sage tower was smashed into the moonlight lake. The surrounding space was completely turned into nothingness. This was a peak assassin. It was too terrifying. Buzz. Roar. The moonlight lake shook nonstop as Lin Xian charged out from within. Flames danced in the sky as a three-eyed vermilion bird flew out and swept through the 9 heavens. Although Xiao Mu didn't come, the three-eyed vermilion bird followed him. Lin Xian controlled the three-eyed vermilion bird and swept through the surroundings, lighting up the entire void. He walked out, his face incomparably cold. "Since you're here, no one can leave today." Lin Xian roared. A pair of golden eyes appeared in the sky. A terrifying phantom of the divine map enveloped the entire space. "Kill." He attacked aggressively. Lin Xian stood on the three-eyed vermilion bird and waved the Great Destruction Spear. He charged towards one of the mortal world experts. The assassin wanted to retreat, but how could he escape under Lin Xian's gaze? The Great Destruction Spear was like a black mountain pressing down with a terrifying dragon Dao aura. The killer saint tried to resist, but the moment he swung his sword at the void, he was sent flying. How terrifying! These people quickly retreated. How could Lin Xian let these people leave? He immediately summoned his great dragon sword soul, which transformed into a dragon shadow and sliced his opponent in half. A sacred assassin fell. Another sacred assassin was turned into a mist of blood. Lin Xian swung his sword thrice and his face turned pale. The 3 killer saints of the mortal world had their souls completely retreat. The leading peak saint roared and quickly retreated. Lin Xian pushed his heavenly secret god eyes to the extreme, attacking his opponent's soul. That killer saint didn't expect Lin Xian's soul to be so powerful. After receiving the attack, his body swayed, and he vomited blood. The third eye of the vermilion bird shot out a divine flame and enveloped the opponent. A roar sounded. That person was severely injured. He tore open the void and disappeared. Was it over? The people in the distance were stunned. These killer saints were too terrifying. However, the person who attacked was even more terrifying. He killed one with a sword. What was that powerful aura just now? Guyu was also shocked. Was this Lin Xian's trump card? At this moment, the great dragon sword soul had returned to Lin Xian's body. Lin Xian's face was pale. He quickly absorbed the power of heaven and earth and swallowed pills. It seemed that he had to speed up. There were already grotto heavens waiting to attack. In the distance, Elder Bai and the others walked over. They were incomparably shocked. What happened? Young master, are you all right? The great battle here had naturally alarmed them. Lin Xian said, I'm fine. I was almost assassinated. Elder Bai and the others' faces changed when they saw the 4 geniuses of the white cloud grotto heaven fall. Their faces instantly turned ugly. Who dared to attack them? One of the elders looked serious. They didn't say anything, but they obviously guessed it. Elder Bai's eyelids were also twitching. Could it be that someone used that dark power? Who was it? Lone Moon's face was also gloomy. Even Xiao Mu had come. Lone Moon could feel the terrifying, murderous aura around him, and his eyes flashed with a biting cold light. If he wasn't careful, he might be hit by such a fatal blow. Lin Xian said coldly, Where is the residence of the purple spirit grotto heaven? Elder Bai was stunned. Young master, what do you mean? Lin Xian said coldly and led the way. Yes, I know. Elder Bai nodded. Lin Xian and the others rose into the air. Guyu said, Did the people of the purple spirit grotto heaven do it? Lin Xian's eyes flickered. I guess it's very likely that they did it. Even if they didn't, we have to take them down today. The people of the purple spirit grotto heaven were naturally paying attention to this battle. In their opinion, 4 mortal world killing saints were sent out. One of them was a peak killing saint. It was enough to deal with a beast tamer. After all, even if the other party had a peak-killing beast tamer protecting him, so what? The people of the mortal world were particular about killing with one blow. They were afraid that the other party's soul would be destroyed before he could react. However, things went beyond their expectations. Lin Xian didn't die at all. He was only slightly injured. On the other hand, 3 mortal world-killing saints fell. It was really unbelievable, especially the peak-killing saint who was injured and fled. They couldn't believe it. They felt like they were dreaming. Now, they saw Lin Xian and the other's murderous aura. They walked in the direction of the purple spirit grotto heaven. They felt their scalps go numb. No, they had to report it. These people were going to kill them. It was very likely that they would be caught off guard. A few people flashed in the dark. Lin Xian looked at Xiao Mu and said, "Kill them." Xiao Mu nodded. His powerful soul energy turned into soul flames. The souls of the people of the purple spirit grotto heaven, who were hiding in the dark, were instantly killed. On the other hand, Lin Xian sped up and arrived at the mansion of the purple spirit grotto heaven. This was the place of the purple spirit grotto heaven. At the front, Elder Bai and the others said. They also wanted to ask what Lin Xian was doing. Lin Xian threw a punch. The space in front of him was broken, and a peerless formation bloomed. Lin Xian was proficient in formations. He said to Xiao Mu and Gu Yu, "Summon your beasts and attack." At the same time, he summoned a few beasts to attack the weakness of the formation. Soon, they killed their way in. Elder Bai and the others were stunned. They really didn't expect Lin Xian to kill their way in. Although it wasn't the main camp of the Purple Spirit Grotto Heaven, it was still a mansion. There were countless experts here who would dare to provoke them. Even they didn't dare to make a move easily. But now, Lin Xian and the other 2 directly killed their way in. It was unbelievable. Wasn't this too daring? The people inside were stunned. They didn't expect that someone would dare to fight their way in. A few disciples came up and asked, "Who are you? What are you doing here?" In the end, they only saw a golden hand descending from the sky and smashing them into a bloody mist. Chapter 46:11. Endless cracks appeared on the ground, and the palaces were destroyed. This scene alarmed the people in the mansion, who dared to behave so atrociously here. One figure after another rose into the air. When they saw that it was Lin Xian, their faces changed instantly. "It's you, you're not dead?" Lin Xian snorted coldly. "So, it seems like you guys did it. Since that's the case, you guys can go to hell." With a wave of his hand, the demonic beasts that covered the sky charged forward. "You're courting death. Kid, do you know what this place is? This is not a place where you can behave atrociously." These people were furious. They were the Grotto Heavens, the overlords of a region. How could a young man attack them? With a roar, the other people also shouted angrily and charged over. Although they didn't have as many demonic beasts as the other party, this was their territory, and they had countless arrays. Suddenly, a few killing arrays were activated, and a terrifying force swept out, fighting against the demonic beasts. Lin Xian snorted coldly, and his golden eyes shone brightly. The great spear of destruction shot down like a black dragon and instantly shattered a killing array. Damn it, who is this person? How could he find the flaw in their array so easily? These people were terrified. Lin Xian attacked again. With his array skills and the power of the great spear of destruction, it was easy for him to destroy the array. In the blink of an eye, another 3 arrays were destroyed. The pressure on the demonic beasts was also reduced. They roared and began to attack wildly. Many people from the Xiling Grotto Heaven died, and their bodies turned into a bloody mist. The front seemed to have turned into a Jura hell. Damn it, The people from the Xylan Grotto heaven went crazy and retreated quickly. Many elders shouted angrily. At this moment, a cold snort sounded between heaven and earth. Ants, how dare you behave atrociously here? Go to hell. Between heaven and earth, the void cracked, and a thunderbolt shot out. This was the power of a peak sage king. Xiao Mu snorted and waved his hand, blocking the thunderbolt. He stood beside Lin Xian. At the same time, the terrifying heavenly soul voice shot into the void. Above him, the laws swept out, and a figure descended. It was a middle-aged man. His face was cold and murderous as he stared at Xiao Mu. The other party's soul terrified him. At the same time, he looked at Lin Xian and Elder Bai and said through gritted teeth, "Bai Yuan, do your White Cloud Grotto want to die?" Bai Yuan was on the verge of tears. He was only leading the way. How could he have imagined that Lin Xian would be so crazy as to directly attack someone in the other party's territory? At this moment, he could only brace himself and say that this was a misunderstanding. This was not the intention of the White Cloud Grotto. Previously, someone attacked young Master Qing. Young Master Qing thought that it was you guys, so he came. Lin Xian sneered. There was no need to explain to him. It was the doing of the Purple Spirit Paradise. The peak stage Saint King in the sky was also enraged. Precept swept out from his body as he gritted his teeth. Since he was here, he might as well stay here forever. He slammed his palm downward. While Xiao Mu was fighting against Elder Bai could also feel his blood boiling. He was also furious. How dare you? This is an important guest of the White Cloud Grotto. Try to understand him. Now, he was full of admiration for Lin Xian. He was still hoping that Lin Xian would give him some demonic beasts to increase his strength. Therefore, he was also furious. Moreover, he now felt that it was the Purple Spirit Paradise who had done this. Bai Yuan, since you want to die, I'll fulfill your wish. I won't let anyone who came in today go. Elder Bai was also furious. He told the people around him to not hold back and to attack quickly. The experts of the White Cloud Grotto beside him were also furious and quickly attacked. Although there were not many of them, they would not sit still and wait for their deaths. Lin Xian's voice was even colder. Since you want to kill me, you can all go to hell. He activated the terrifying seal of life and death. The demonic beasts under his control instantly had their eyes turn red, and their aura became violent. Some of them even burned their bloodline. Kill. These demonic beasts simply did not care about their lives. They did not dodge the attacks at all. How could those from the grotto heavens be a match for them? Therefore, many young disciples died instantly. You're courting death. 3 elders charged into the horde of demonic beasts while Lin Xian activated the seal of life and death. 2 demonic beasts suddenly burst open and instantly enveloped the 3 elders. The 3 elders went crazy. They did not expect Lin Xian to be so decisive and directly sacrifice the demonic beasts. The 3 of them were scared out of their wits and wanted to escape. However, they were eventually enveloped by the power and turned into a bloody mist. Damn it! The eyes of those from the Xylan Grotto turned red. Kill! Kill that kid! Many people charged towards Lin Xian. Under Lin Xian's feet, the 3-eyed vermilion bird crawled and unleashed a terrifying flame. The phantom of the vermilion bird swept in all directions. Lin Xian held the great destruction spear in his hand and swung it around. At the same time, he used his eye technique and attacked with his soul. Those people fell from the sky. He was like a god of death, attacking aggressively. Wherever he passed, no one could stop him. The demonic beasts were even more violent and pierced through the palaces. The sky was shattered, and the earth was split open. It was a scene of destruction. The battle here naturally attracted the attention of the Moonshine City. Countless people rushed over. When they saw that it was the residents of Xiling Heaven, they were stunned. Someone was attacking the Xiling Grotto, who was so strong. There were many families and sects in the Moonshine City, but the most powerful ones were the 6 Grotto Heavens. No one dared to provoke them here. Now, the attack on the Xiling Grotto made them feel as if they were dreaming. Use the sacred weapon. A peak elder rushed to the ground and opened the seal. Suddenly, a terrifying aura burst out. It was a black sacred sword that was extremely terrifying. When it appeared, it cut through the sky. The flames unleashed by the vermilion bird were extinguished, and the black, holy sword charged towards Lin Xian. Lin Xian dodged quickly. He rushed to the young people of the Xiling Grotto and attacked. The great destruction spear pierced through more than 10 figures. No one was his match. Damn it, the experts of the Xiling Grotto were furious. They held the black sacred sword in their hands, but they did not dare to attack. They were afraid that they would hurt their own people. Kid, come out if you have the guts. Lin Xian sneered. You've lived for thousands of years. You want me to come out with a peak sacred weapon? Are you out of your mind? Today, I'll let you see with your own eyes the fall of your disciples. Lin Xian slapped out again, and the 2 of them turned into blood mist. Damn it! The elder rushed down with the sacred sword. At this time, Xiao Mu roared. Do you really think that I'm not here? He took out a jade flute. It was a red jade flute with a dangerous aura. He used it now. It was the Song of Illusion. The 3-eyed vermilion bird roared to the sky, and the blood in its body burned. On the other side, a strange golden fish rushed over with the seawater on its head. The 2 peaked demonic beasts had gone crazy. Chapter 46:12. They were burning their lives. The people of Xiling Grotto Heaven were shocked. They did not dare to burn their lives, but the beasts did. Beasts could be replaced, but if they lost their lives, they could not be replaced. Therefore, they could only roar. Stop, we won't fight anymore. The black sacred sword stopped. The peak elders of Xiling Grotto Heaven gritted their teeth and said, Let them go. Hearing this, the 2 beasts stopped burning their blood. They calmed down again. Groups of beasts stood in the air, full of killing intent. Lin Xian said coldly, How dare you send assassins to assassinate me? I will remember you. Xiling Grotto Heaven, I will make you regret it. The people of Xiling Grotto Heaven were also going crazy. Kid, don't be too proud. We will let you go this time, but next time, we will destroy your soul. Xiaomu said, Young master, it's about time. With our current strength, we can't completely destroy them. Lin Xian nodded, indicating that he understood. If he brought more people, it might be possible, but now was not the time. Besides, there was no need to completely destroy Xiling Grotto Heaven. This time, he was just venting his anger. Now that he had vented enough, it was time to stop. He waved his hand and said, Let's go. The beasts in the air went back into the beast pouch. Lin Xian and the rest turned and left. Was the battle over? The people in the distance were quietly investigating. When they saw the mansion in front of them, they almost fainted. At this moment, the mansion in Xiling Grotto Heaven was in ruins. Not a single building was intact. The ground was completely cracked. The sky and surroundings were filled with sacred blood. Many beasts' corpses were piled up into mountains. However, most of the people of Xiling Grotto Heaven had died. Those people did not even have bodies. They turned into a bloody mist and circled around the sky. It was too terrifying. Elder Bai was dumbfounded. He did not even know how he returned to the mansion. After returning, the news spread. The people of White Cloud Grotto Heaven were shocked. Such a thing happened. Not good. They quickly reported it. They were worried that Xiling Grotto Heaven would come for revenge. They activated the ultimate formation. The people outside were all summoned back by them. At the same time, they requested a group of experts to come and help. The people of other grotto heavens were also shocked. This beast tamer was too arrogant. Some grotto heavens said that they could not afford to offend the other party. There were also people who sneered. It seemed like the Violet Spirit Paradise would not let this matter rest. How were they going to deal with this? The White Cloud Mansion was naturally nervous. In the past few days, they had begun to deploy their troops. Lin Xian said with a smile, "Don't worry. The demonic beasts that I have arranged for you have already been activated. These demonic beasts are extremely terrifying. Their defense and attack are unparalleled. It won't be a problem. As long as they dared to come, they would die without a burial ground." Hearing this, the people of the White Cloud Mansion heaved a sigh of relief. Indeed, with the protection of the 5 great plant-type demonic beasts, their defense was much stronger than before. Therefore, they were all relieved. About 10 days later, boundless spatial fluctuations suddenly appeared, and the entire sky turned violet. It was as if violet clouds were pressing down on the city. The White Cloud Mansion was shaking violently. The surrounding void was shattering continuously. The people inside were startled at the first instance. Not good, the enemy is here. One by one, experts rushed out of the palaces and pavilions and looked up at the sky. Some of them gritted their teeth. They were the people of the Violet Spirit Paradise. Elderby also came out. He shouted coldly, "Violet Spirit Paradise, do you want to attack my White Cloud Mansion?" In the sky, purple clouds filled the air, and figures appeared one after another. One of the old men shouted coldly, "What, are you afraid now? When you went to the Violet Spirit Paradise and behaved atrociously, did you think that this day would come? Be obedient and hand over that kid, and we can let you live. You destroyed our Violet Spirit Paradise, so there is no need for your White Cloud Mansion to exist." These people not only wanted to kill Lin Xian, but also wanted to destroy their mansion in the Moonshine City. How could the people of the White Cloud Cave tolerate this? This time, Elderby did not need to say anything. The other elders were also furious. You still want to resist? Then do it. In the sky, purple lightning struck down, covering the entire area. The lightning was extremely terrifying, piercing through everything. In an instant, the ground below cracked and the palaces collapsed. Some of the White Cloud Cave experts were also split in half. "Damn it, how dare you attack? Attack!" The White Cloud Cave experts also counterattacked, and at the same time, they activated the array. The Dharma in the sky swept out, facing the purple lightning. A great battle broke out. In an instant, a terrifying aura shook the entire Moonshine City. The entire Moonshine City shook violently. Countless people were shocked. What was happening now? They saw lightning in the distance, and it was a scene of destruction. No way. There was another great battle. This time, it was from the direction of the White Cloud Mansion. Someone was attacking the White Cloud Cave. It must be the people of the Violet Spirit Paradise. They were going to take revenge. Let's go and take a look. One figure after another quickly flew in that direction. Of course, they did not dare to get close. They watched from afar because the aura in front was too terrifying. The entire White Cloud Mansion was shrouded in a sea of lightning. In a palace, Lin Xian opened his eyes. "Are they here?" Lone Moon looked at them. He frowned slightly. "The battle is about to reach us. Should we go out and help?" Lin Xian said, "Now is not the time. Let's wait until the White Cloud Cave can't hold on any longer." Outside, lightning was everywhere. But inside the palace, Lin Xian and the other two were relaxed. They even chatted and drank spirit tea. The people of the White Cloud Mansion did not ask for Lin Xian's help. In their opinion, this was their territory, and they could definitely hold on. But they had underestimated them. After Purple Spirit Grotto had suffered a loss the last time, They had transferred a lot of experts this time. Their strength was much more formidable than they had imagined. Not long after, 3 late-stage Sage King elders fell. The people of the White Cloud Cave were furious. Furthermore, many of the younger disciples had also turned into a bloody mist. Damn it, if the battle continued, their mansion in the Moonshine City would be destroyed. Elderby gritted his teeth. "I'll ask young master for help." He quickly descended and came to the front of a palace. He said anxiously, "Young master, are you there? Please help. We can't hold on any longer." The door of the palace opened. Lin Xian walked out and said, "What's going on? Are those people attacking again?" "Don't worry, I'll help you. Next, I'll activate the 5 peerless demonic beasts." Elderby heaved a sigh of relief. "Thank you, young master." Lin Xian took a step forward. His eyes shone with a terrifying light. Seal of life and death. The ground cracked. In 5 directions of the mansion, an extremely terrifying aura spread out, sweeping across the 9 heavens. The aura of these demonic beasts were connected, completely enveloping the entire White Cloud Mansion. Chapter 46:13. A stalk of fire kept dancing, as if it had turned into a divine fire sweeping across the land. Several strong cultivators from the Xylan Grotto heaven were hit in an instant, and their bodies immediately split open. On the other side, a black demonic flower shot out terrifying black water, which had a strong corrosive effect. One of the elders didn't manage to dodge in time and was instantly turned into a bloody mist. More than a dozen young disciples also disappeared into thin air. Damn it, what kind of demonic beast was this? How could it be so terrifying? The people from the Xylan Grotto heaven were stunned, and so were the people from the White Cloud Grotto heaven. This was great. The young master had made a move, and these demonic beasts had all been revived. Other than these 2 demonic beasts, there were 3 other demonic beasts, and these 5 demonic beasts were all at the peak of the Saint King realm. More importantly, they each had the 5 elements of metal, wood, water, fire, and earth. When they worked together, it was really terrifying. When the 5 demonic beasts attacked, it took 9 days. The strong cultivators from the Xylan Grotto heaven kept falling, forming a scene of destruction. Retreat quickly. The people from the White Cloud Grotto heaven had been warned by Elderby and had already retreated in advance. They looked at the scene in front of them and were extremely shocked. They felt their hair stand on end. Elderby's scalp was also numb. Fortunately, Lin Xian was their friend. Otherwise, they would be dead if they faced such demonic beasts. Lone Moon, who was beside him, was also shocked. These 5 peak demonic beasts could be controlled by Lin Xian. It was really incredible. Although Xiaomu played a large part in the process of suppressing and controlling the demonic beasts, Lin Xian only used the seal of life and death at the end. But now he was controlling 5 demonic beasts. How much spiritual power and control did he have to be able to do this? Looking at the other party's shining golden eyes, Gu Yue did not dare to imagine that this person's talent and strength were definitely far beyond theirs. Even Xiaomu was surprised. Lin Xian was still so young, but he was already so powerful. It would not be a problem for him to surpass him in the future. He might even surpass everything. Perhaps he could use a pair of magical eyes to control a supreme demon saint. Everyone saw this scene, and they had a deeper understanding of Lin Xian's talent. The elders of the White Cloud Wonderland were extremely excited. Such a genius beast tamer must become their friend. No matter what the cost, as long as they could keep Lin Xian by their side, their White Cloud Cave would become even more powerful in the future. At that time, they would be able to surpass the other caves. Those young disciples felt their blood run cold. Fortunately, they had run fast enough. Otherwise, they would have already died inside. Some of their companions did not manage to escape in time and were torn to pieces by the 5 demonic beasts. Those elders also felt heartache, although it was hard for them to lose a few disciples, and perhaps this mansion would also vanish into thin air. But so what? To be able to befriend a genius was extremely worth it. Lin Xian's value was more important than anything else. Demonic qi permeated the area ahead, and the terrifying might of the laws gradually subsided. Those demonic beasts stopped attacking and quieted down. The shattered space in front of them was quickly mending. Everyone looked ahead. Are there any survivors? In the next moment, they all gasped because not many people were still alive in front of them. To be precise, only one person was still alive. This was a peak sage king, realm elder. He had a pagoda on his body that enveloped him. At this moment, the pagoda was also dim. It was because of the pagoda that he was still alive. Otherwise, he would have died without a doubt. Those around him were all killed. Not a single one was intact. They were either torn apart or turned into a bloody mist. No, that elder of the Purple Spirit Wonderland Alliance roared crazily. How many experts and elite experts had he brought with him? But now, they were all dead. He was the only one alive. He could not imagine how he would explain this when he returned. In the next moment, his eyes shone brightly, piercing through the void and looking ahead. Lin Xian walked out and said, "Do you still want revenge?" That elder's scalp went numb. "Do you still dare to seek revenge?" Lin Xian had attacked twice. The first time, he destroyed their mansion. The second time, it was this time. Apart from him, all the experts had died. If there was a next time, what kind of scene would it be? He did not dare to imagine. This young man was too deep. He could not see through him at all. "Young Master Qing, we have offended you previously. Please forgive us. From now on, we will no longer be enemies with you. This time, our men were killed because of White Cloud Paradise. We will not let White Cloud Paradise off the hook. This matter has nothing to do with you, young master. We, the Purple Spirit Wonderland, will remember this battle. White Cloud Wonderland, just you wait." With that, he tore open the void and escaped. Hearing the other party's words, Su Chan laughed coldly. It seemed that his methods had worked. He had beaten the White Cloud Wonderland until they bowed down. Since the other party did not dare to release his killing intent, he could only find another target. It was the White Cloud Wonderland. Thinking about it, these 2 White Cloud Wonderlands had already formed a death grudge. They would definitely fight one another in the future. Damn it. The White Cloud Wonderland was so angry that they vomited blood. The other party said that they were the ones who did it. They had indeed done it, but the most important thing was those 5 beasts. Of course, they did not dare to say that Lin Xian was the one who did it because they begged Lin Xian to set up those beasts. After thinking about it, it was indeed their strength. But so what? There was already a conflict between the White Cloud Wonderlands. It was just brought forward. Sooner or later, they would destroy the Purple Spirit Wonderland. All right, you guys handle the rest. I'll find a place to rest. I'm tired from controlling so many beasts. Seeing Lin Xian's pale face, Elder Bai said, "Don't worry, young master. Leave the rest to us. We'll find some strong ones to protect young master." With their strength, they quickly found a mansion. But it was small, only big enough for Lin Xian and the others to live in. They did not mind. They wanted to rebuild the White Cloud Mansion and build a more magnificent mansion. Lin Xian left, and the people behind him looked over. It can't be. Is the battle over? Why didn't the people from the Purple Spirit Wonderland come out? Could it be that they were killed? Heavens, this piece of news quickly spread out. In the ruins ahead, the people from the White Cloud Wonderland were shocked. Some of the younger disciples were excited. Was this a beast tamer? They really wanted to learn this move. Those elders also said that we must firmly grasp this young man in our hands. Do you understand? The others nodded. Of course they understood. We'll rebuild the mansion, and then we'll rope him in and satisfy him. We'll make him give us the method to control the beasts as soon as possible. We must control him. As for the purple spirit wonderland, since it was over, there was no need to hold back. Since they dared to come, they'll go to hell. Chapter 46:14. The news spread quickly, and the people from the other grotto heavens were shocked. It can't be. You're saying that only one of the experts from the Violet Spirit Paradise managed to leave alive? Have the others all fallen? Are you sure? The people from Qianshan Grotto Heaven asked. An elder nodded. I'm sure. I saw it with my own eyes. Only one person survived, and he was heavily injured. The people from Qingqiu Grotto Heaven were also shocked. How could this be? He was just a young man. The eyes of the elder from Haoren Grotto Heaven shone. This young man was too amazing. He had to rope him in. At least he couldn't offend him. This way, we'll suppress a group of beasts and find a batch of spirit fruits. I'll give them to this young master. We have to get his support. Lin Xian set up the array, and the others laughed. Lin Xian's lips curled up. He snorted. This was just the beginning. Lone Moon said, Which grotto heaven are we going to attack next? I can't wait. Lin Xian said, We don't have much time. They might contact Shanghai City for such a big thing. Although they were far away, they would still do it. If they found the Green Clan and found out that there was no such person, they would be suspicious. Xiao Mu frowned. He knew that Lin Xian's strength was real, but his identity was fake. The other party used the Green Clan instead of Shanghai Palace or Xiao Clan to prevent the 6 grotto heavens from taking revenge. Although the distance between the two parties was endless, there was no need to offend so many powerful sections. Lin Xian had a grudge with the Green Clan, so he didn't care and put the blame on Qingzhu. With their speed, they should still have some time. We can make good use of it. Lin Xian thought for a while and said, I have some friends who were suppressed in the grotto heavens and became battle servants. The main goal this time was to save them. Xiao Mu and Guyu were shocked. No wonder Lin Xian hated the 6 grotto heavens so much. Actually, to tell you the truth, I was the same before. My friends, and I came from another world. Who would have thought that he would be suppressed by the 6 great grotto heavens? He had to take revenge. Xiao Mu said, This isn't difficult. Young Master can invite the young geniuses of the 6 great grotto heavens and control them to find your friends. All right, let's do that. Lin Xian nodded. All he knew was that Fu Hongya was in Violet Grave Paradise. However, he had just dealt heavy damage to the Violet Spirit Paradise twice. It would be troublesome if he wanted to make contact with them again. It would be better for him to take a look at the other paradises and see if any of his friends had been suppressed. On the second day, the people from the 5 great paradises came again, bringing a large amount of resources and demonic beasts, which made Lin Xian very satisfied. At the same time, he sent a voice transmission to the elders. The 6 great grotto heavens are considered top-notch sections. There must be quite a number of geniuses in there. I'm going to organize a gathering of geniuses and invite all the geniuses from your grotto heaven. We'll have a good gathering and get to know each other. He wanted to make more friends. Really? That's great. The experts and elders of the grotto heavens were overjoyed. Don't worry, we'll definitely bring those geniuses here in 3 days. All right, I'll wait for you. Lin Xian began to make arrangements. In his opinion, his friends were all top-notch existences. Even if they were battle servants, they should be given to those top-notch experts and geniuses. Therefore, he should be able to meet many of his friends this time. As expected, after those grotto heavens sent the news back, the geniuses from the grotto heavens began to move. Naturally, they had heard a little about the Moonshine City. They also wanted to see what was so special about this legendary beast, taming genius. Therefore, in the past 3 days, they used all sorts of methods to rush over. Moonshine City became even more lively in an instant. Every day, there would be powerful figures arriving. The people in Moonshine City were shocked. Oh my God, aren't they the geniuses from the 6 great grotto heavens? Why are they all here? What happened? Haven't you heard? That beast taming genius is going to invite the top-notch geniuses from the 6 great grotto heavens for a gathering. Really? I want to go and take a look too. Countless people were envious. However, it was useless. This was only a gathering between Lin Xian and the 6 great grotto heavens. Others were not qualified to enter. On this day, dozens of figures arrived at Lin Xian's courtyard. These geniuses were still arrogant and unruly. However, after entering, they realized that there were many beasts swimming in the courtyard. Late-stage and even peak-stage beasts were eyeing them covetously. These geniuses were horrified and put away their arrogance. Come, sit down. Lin Xian walked out and waved his hand. His eyes flashed. As expected, he found some familiar faces. His friends were treated as battle servants. They looked at him coldly as if they did not know him at all. Lin Xian's lips curled up. He secretly transmitted his voice to Xiaomu and told him about those people. Xiaomu nodded. Then Lin Xian found an excuse to talk to a few people in private. The first person to enter was Bai Hao. He was from the White Cloud Grotto Heaven. His name was Bai Tsang. He was extremely excited because he had already heard from Elder Bai that this young Master Qin was a godly person. If he could make friends with such a person, it would be extremely beneficial for his future. As soon as she came in, she said, "Young Master, Elder Bai is my second grandpa. Is that so?" Lin Xian nodded. "Very good." In the next moment, a golden hand grabbed Bai Tsang's head. Bai Tsang's face changed. "Damn it, what are you doing?" He was furious. A shocking amount of energy exploded. At this moment, a sword aura descended. "If you move again, I'll take your life." Bai Tsang broke out in cold sweat. The surrounding battle servants wanted to help, but they were also sent flying. A black ape appeared and suppressed the battle servants with 2 hands. Lin Xian said, "Let's begin." Xiaomu nodded his head and walked out. His powerful soul force flew directly into the minds of the 2 figures. Lin Xian's eyes shone with a golden light. The power of the Tianji divine eyes and dragon sword spirit also flew in. Previously, he could break Fu Hongye's control alone. Now that he had Xiaomu's help, it was even easier. Soon, the 2 figures' eyes regained their light. In the next moment, they exclaimed, "Where are we? What happened to us? Are you 2 okay?" Lin Xian walked over and asked, "Marshal Uncle Lin." Lu Yuan stood up in shock. Li Hongxue was also surprised. "Where are we?" Lin Xian briefly explained what had happened. The 2 of them were shocked. "We've become battle servants, and it's been a long time. You saved us?" Lin Xian nodded. "That's right. Not only you, but also the people from Peerless City and other friends. I want them all out." Then he looked at Bai Tsang and planted the seal of life and death on him. Bai Tsang respectfully knelt on the ground and shouted, "Greetings, Lord. You're tuning in to the Mystic Fist YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories."